CeeLo in for Jerry. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. We're all back together. Jerry and Al in the warm-up show at 5, and then we have us at 6 o'clock. So enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to be hanging out with Jerry and CeeLo down in New Jersey today for a great cause. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I agree. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. As always, New York. Stairs.
His main thing is looking at balls.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti. This report is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB, Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Also sponsored by Flushing Bank. Well, the last time Mark Vientos hit a home run, it was an opposite field grand slam in San Diego late July. The Mets blew that game and lost. Last night in Williamsport, not the case, as his opposite field 3-run shot blew it open, and the Mets went on to win the Little League Classic 7-3 over the Mariners, also taking the rubber game of that 3-game series. Here was Vientos on the whole experience, enjoying the Little Leaguers earlier in the day and then having them there to watch the big leaguers in the Sunday nighter.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Right before that bat, one of the kids told me, he was like, hey, Vientos, if you hit a home run, you got to give me your bat. Unfortunately, I was looking for the kid. I couldn't find him after that, but it was pretty sick.
Turned out to be a kid on the Metro team hailing from Connecticut, where Vientos was born. Other notables from last night: Francisco Alvarez, 3 hits, including a couple of doubles, though he injured his thumb sliding into second base. He eventually left the game. He'll have an MRI today back here in New York. Francisco Lindor has caught fire. 6-game hitting streak, 3 hits last night, 5 in a row with multiple hits and 3 home runs and 3 doubles during that span as well. Mets have the day off. They'll open a series in D.C. against the Nationals tomorrow night. In St. Louis, winning weekend for the Yankees. They finished off a sweep of the Cardinals, taking Sunday's finale 8-4 with 4 runs in the top half of the ninth. Paul Goldschmidt, who was not in the lineup Friday and Saturday with a sprained knee, certainly had a game Sunday, 3 for 5, couple of doubles facing his former team. The Yanks have the day off as well. They're on to Tampa for 2 with the Rays beginning tomorrow. They're 3.5 games clear of the Guardians for the final wildcard spot in the American League. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. We've got 67 degrees, cloudy skies right now in Central Park. And with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Chris Lopresti.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Trying to say, BT, for the last couple of weeks, what a difference a week can make, what a difference a series can make, or even a weekend. And whereas on Friday night, it felt like, oh my God, it's over for the Mets. Finally put the fork in them, the division's toast. They can't keep blowing these damn leads. They have righted the ship and stabilized here with 2 solid performances back-to-back, top to bottom. The offense, the bullpen, and, of course, the starting pitching. And I have to think now, at least I feel like this, the worst is behind them, especially with a soft schedule coming up this week.
Good couple of days. There's no doubt about that. Listen, all the things we've discussed with the Mets here, it was always like, let's find something that provides a spark and hope. And really, the thing that we know about the New York Mets now, and we've known this for a while, Lindor hits, Mets win, and that's the connection to the Mets playing well and one of their best players doing his job very well, which he's in the middle of doing. But the hope aspect comes in the form of McClain. Like that to me over the weekend, Friday with the bullpen malfunctions again, almost impossible to comprehend. I don't know that they're all past that, because I don't know if some of these guys can handle New York. I don't. We're going to have to run them back out there, see what happens, and see how they respond. But, at least the stabilization, that's a word we use a lot.
Yeah.
Reason when the Yanks and the Mets are in these tailspins, the stabilization for now of the Mets season appears to be upon us, and we'll see what happens. It's good. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's only 2 games, sure, but it just feels totally different with the 2 games. Now, there could be, and I was saying over this 12-game stretch against the crappy Braves, even with the Mariners, throw them in there, that the Mets should go 9-3. I mean, 8-4 at worst, but they've now gone 3-3 in those first 6, so they got a lot of work to do. I would not be surprised if they won 6 in a row. Certainly wouldn't be. Now, I wouldn't accept anything less than 5-1. You got 3 with the Nats, 3 with the Braves. Go beat the snot out of them. Like they're better. You've stabilized here. The offense is heating up, and that's what should carry them. There are no more excuses. You get you don't have the pressure of playing in front of the fans at home, where you feel like, every lead is going to be coughed up, whatever it may be. Go now that they got those 2 wins against a very good Mariners team
Yeah.
and a team that was hot themselves with good pitching, there are no more excuses for the Mets. They need to rattle off here either 5 out of 6 or 6 in a row and get back in the division. If they don't do that, then, we get 38 games to go. If they don't do that, then the division's probably going to be gone, and then it's going to be battling the Reds for that final wild card spot. But I still think that everything's right there in front of them. McClain, to me, it was a nice shot in the arm. They needed it, but still he's only going to be pitching every 5th day. So they need Manaea to wake up. It was great to get Clay Holmes last night. They're going to need Senga to wake up. Like, they need those guys to wake up. The primary reason why I would be excited is I do trust the bullpen, but the bat's starting to carry them, which is something that we have not seen. That's been the one constant. Even in the losses, they've been hitting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Lindor looks fantastic, and who knows if that's going to jumpstart Vientos a little bit here.
Yeah.
And Soto's obviously had a really good year. Not an amazing year, but a good year. And he's Juan Soto.
First player to 30 homers and 20 stolen bases in baseball this year.
That is a stat that I probably would not have put money down to start.
Yeah, I know. I had to check it. I'm like, what? And Otani's only got 17 steals.
Yeah.
First
That's
player.
good. I didn't realize
that's a big deal. In a down year, Juan Soto, 30 homers, 20 stolen bases at this particular point. First in baseball to get there. That's a big deal. Anyway, point is their offense is starting to heat up now together with Lindor, Soto, Alonso, not to mention maybe the depth pieces in that lineup.
Yeah, for sure. And think about this. Like the day-to-day dissection of these teams, right? It's going to yield some thought and some takes that are completely on the opposite end of the spectrum based on the way they're playing. That's the reality. And we'll get to the Yankees later. Yankees had a good weekend as well. Yeah. But, and you've been fairly consistent with this. I saw you on SNY over the weekend. You've said this for a while. Like, you've never abandoned hope for the division. I don't necessarily agree with the division, but I respect where you're coming from.
Well, Matt's getting in the way
soon. Somewhere.
Matt's getting in the way soon. And really, if the Mets didn't trip all over them damn selves a week ago, we'd be talking about a 3-game deficit right now, which is all in play. They got 7 head-to-head.
For sure. Yeah, that's true.
And let me just say real quick on that. Like, it's because I want to be clear. It's not about hope. It is about belief. Deep down, I was texting Evan with this, I think on Thursday night. I forget what it was. But I was like, dude, as bad as it is, and as bad as it seems, I can't believe they're losing a series to the crappy Braves. I still believe they're going to win the division. And until that is officially done, I'm going to believe that they're going to win the division because we've seen crazy stuff happen in sports before, and it's not out of nowhere. I believe the Mets are good. Now, an Alvarez injury can throw the wrench in at certain things here. You want to talk about that, whatever. But based on the ability that they have, the potential and talent that they have, I still believe they're going to win that damn division.
Well, let's not lose sight of that they're supposed to be here.
Yeah,
that's the main storyline. So really, the expectation, and again, different degrees of belief, like, Mets will be a playoff team, Mets will win the division, Mets will win the division going away, Braves will win this bad before the season. I mean, I don't think anything said before the season pertaining to the Mets, Phillies, and Braves was outlandish because the talent was there and the recent success was there enough. I just think that when you get multiple months of erratic, not even erratic, poor play. I mean, erratic is when you play well at times and then you play poorly. I mean, the Mets have, for the most part, played poorly. And again, maybe this is the turning of the worm, so to speak. I still think that they are, and I've said this, and bad is a strong word, but I'll just use it to keep it moving. Bad at more things than they're good at. But if the bullpen comes around, and McClain, that's why I point to that for what gives me some hope for the Mets to actually get this thing going. If those things now, if the bullpen rectifies itself and McClain is, a presence here, every 5 or 6 days, well, now it changes what I believe that the Mets can be because, there's other signs that, Lindor and other guys joining the party. I don't think it was ever about abandoning hope. I think it was the contextualization of what the Mets were showing us who they were. Right. And maybe this weekend is the starting point of them going back to what we thought they could be.
But in most those, examples that people want to reference, it's from June 13th on. Even if you want to go, okay, well, from April on. Yeah, okay, but April did happen, and they've improved the talent since then, and they did win 7 in a row a couple of weeks ago. Like, those things did happen. My biggest thing is not even the wins, losses, because you could see that a year ago or whatever. You could reference a lot of different examples. My biggest belief or reason to believe is because I believe in the talent of Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Manaea, Senga, maybe even more specifically the bullpen. Now, maybe Helsley is just not a guy from New York. I don't know. I'm not seeing that yet. I don't think this is a Devin Williams situation yet. I mean, he throws hard.
His start is as bad as Devin Williams' start was.
Yeah.
Now, Williams was the closer. Helsley is not. Helsley has been atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, he was okay.
He's been a zero, Dan.
I would say he's a zero.
Helsley has been terrible.
His first outing was fine.
Oh, he's been bad.
His first outing was, how many outings has he been here? I mean,
5, 6?
Yeah, okay. Well, his first one was good. His last one was good.
What's his ERA as a Met?
Yeah, he's been getting hit hard. Also, the defense has betrayed him a little bit. I'm just saying, I don't look at him and think that, he's overwhelmed by New York. I think he throws hard. Guys can hit the fastball. So if your secondary stuff is not working, if his slider's not working, that's where he's going to get hammered, and that's exactly what's happened here. So, but do you not believe in him? The guy's been one of the better closers in all of Major League Baseball. So if he doesn't have it, if this is Billy Taylor Part 2, they're not going to win a lot of games. But it's not like they need Reed Garrett to pick it up out of the bullpen. They've got Soto, they've got Raley, they've got Helsley, they've got Rogers, they've got Diaz. That's 5 arms. If you get 3 of those guys to click, you should be good with the starting pitching. So, to me, assuming the starting pitching gives you 5 innings, which also hasn't happened. So, they have the pieces in the bullpen. The question is, will they do their job? So, it's not, they don't have the pieces, so they got to hope that Reed Garrett's something. He's not a Ryan Stanek. Like, these guys are no good. Helsley should be good. Will he be? I have no idea. But if he's not, that's going to change the outlook of the season. But I still believe in the players that they have there. Top of the order, even the bottom of the order, like at worst, they have potential, like you saw with Vientos.
I hope Alvarez is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because, he's been swinging a bat better. Helsley's ERA, by the way, is 7. And not to beat that too up as a Met. Right. I mean, but here's the thing. I don't know that he can't do it here in New York. I don't know. It's a small sample, much like I didn't jump to the Devin Williams conclusion when he was getting rocked early on as a Yankee. Right. I said, he's not pitching well, but I wasn't saying that he can't handle New York. Now, maybe ultimately that's the case for one, both, or neither player. We'll find out. But the reason I look at Helsley, there's other competent arms out there. Raley's back healthy. We know that. Diaz is a stud. But until, the mass amount of arms in the Mets bullpen, to me, it's necessary, including Helsley, to do his job well until we see, and I don't mean a little weekend of a snapshot, until we see a consistent couple of turns through the rotation that the starters are able to go deep into the game. So I don't know that I can look at a Mets team if Helsley doesn't get his act together and the starters don't start bridging that gap better as good enough to be what Met fans need and want them to be. I can't say that.
Well, as far as what? You talking about World Series?
Just in terms of being the team that we thought that they could be.
I don't think that the Mets could have done much better what they did with the bullpen acquisitions at the deadline.
But I agree.
Okay, so if they don't work out, they don't work out. Like, there's not.
But those are two different discussions. That's why when they
But it's not all. Like, he's how many games has Helsley been in? This
at
computer,
least 6 or 7.
I want to throw this computer through the window. Like, can we get a functioning computer around here? Seriously, it's not working. 15 minutes before the show, the keyboard's not working. I can't even look it up. Can you give me Helsley's game log here? Point is, I believe you may not have to like them. I like the arms. I believe in those arms. I thought the Mets did as well as they could. Rogers, by the way, has been giving up base hits left and right as well. So it's not like he's been lights out. I think that will turn. The starters are where I have the least confidence in because they've shown, like Minaya has been a 0.
He's been bad.
He's been a disaster. Helsley, and you have a couple of bad outings. It's going to, especially now, it's going to get highlighted.
I understand. I'm not burying the guy. I'm just saying he's got to start ERA 7, Sal.
Understood.
He's got to start doing his job, getting some outs.
Understood. But it's been a few.
I agree.
His first outing was fine. He looked lights out, coming into the stupid song and blowing guys away. He's acknowledged that at least, like, hey, I'm not sure what's going on. Obviously, I got to be a little bit better.
He's answering like a big boy. I respect that.
Last night, I thought he was fine. What's his game log we're going on with Helsley?
So over 8 games, he's pitched to a 3.61 ERA with the Mets so far.
So, wait, say that again?
Helsley.
Yeah.
Over 8 games.
Right.
He's been 8 games with the Mets so far. He's pitched to a 3.61 ERA.
Oh, wait, where are we getting the 70?
Over 42 innings.
In what?
That can't be right.
No, that's not right.
There's no way he's been 42 innings with the Mets.
Well, either way. By the way, the acknowledgement, I said the same for Cashman, the acknowledgement of what the Mets did going at the deadline, I loved.
Right.
But it still has to work out. Like, there's the in-the-moment evaluation, wow, I think the Mets got some really good arms, and I did and I do, but they still have to do their job. That's all I'm saying.
Let me ask it this way. What do you think is the greatest strength of the Mets?
I think the greatest strength of the Mets could wind up being their bullpen and their first couple of hitters who are terrific when they're on.
I think it is their first 3 in that order.
You talking about the hitters?
Yeah.
When they're on.
Lindor, Soto.
When they're on.
Yeah.
Lindor is also hitting 185 for 2 months. I'm saying when they're on, Sal.
No, BT, I get that. But there are other players that they're not on. Like, I'm not giving you Vientos. I'm not asking you to give me him.
Yeah.
Lindor was an MVP candidate a year ago. So we know he goes through these cold spells. It's maddening. It's frustrating. It's inconsistent. But we've seen, now we're seeing what he could do in the last week or so. Soto is a beast. Even in a bad year, he's still a beast. Alonso leading the league in ribbies. Like, those three are their strength. If they don't hit in September or October, the Mets are done. But that's a big if, because I would assume that they will hit because they've done that throughout their careers more often than not.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, so that's a clear strength.
I would expect them to perform.
That to me is a clear strength. Then my number two would be the bullpen. Now, that's
as
me,
a strength.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, because Diaz, I mean, is as good as there is in the league.
That's why I said what I said, the bullpen and the first couple guys.
But he also could implode. Like, there's no guarantee with Diaz.
But he's got equity here. We know he's a stud in New York. He's gotten the job done for years.
But if you go to the postseason and he blows a game, it happens. Yeah. But I'll take my chances with him, with Helsley, with Rogers, with Raley, who, by the way, Raley imploded the other night. But, like, nobody's perfect. I think the Mets have been in the spot where they've been asking these guys to be perfect. Helsley coming in, need him to be absolutely perfect here. Now, he hasn't gotten the job done. I mean, if he continues this, he's going to go the way of Billy Taylor. But I still think that the Mets at least have the pieces. Whether they do it or not, who the hell knows? All I could ask for is that they have the pieces in place to eventually get the job done.
So I was looking at his season totals, and that was 42.1. He's only pitched 6 1/3 with the Mets. He's let up 5 earned runs, and he's pitching to a 7.1 ERA.
So
right now.
he's been in 6 innings with the Mets.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. 6 innings. That's not. Now all of a sudden they could turn on quickly in another week or so. Obviously, it's been a slow start for Helsley, but we got to see what's going on. Either way, the Mets have seemed to right the ship. We'll get more into the Yankees and obviously football stuff throughout the course of the show. Wanted to start with the Mets off their win last night. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Stefan is calling from Utica. What's up, Steph?
Hello, Steph.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are ya?
Good. What's up?
You start playing top 40 hits. You sound like a DJ from 1980. What's going on, buddy?
Well, on Saturday, Nolan McLean impressed me, and he did a good job pitching, and I think he needs another shot the next time around the rotation.
I agree, Steph.
Well,
I mean, he's going to get it. I mean, if he doesn't get it, then just back up shop. I mean, the Mets have been looking for some length and for some effectiveness from the starting pitchers for a while. This kid comes out, strikes out 8 guys, shows command, shows some overpowering stuff. They better give him another start. And I would even say this, even if he gets rocked, which I wouldn't expect him to, I'm giving him a third.
Yeah, well, because the other option is Frankie Montas, which shouldn't be an option any longer. Now, the question that I would have if you spin it forward is, will this make them want to call up somebody else? Like I told you what I would do a couple weeks ago. Sproat, Entong, bring them up. Now, maybe you don't have to do it right now, but eventually going into the postseason, I don't want to see Reed Garrett. Like, I don't want to see Reed Garrett. I don't want to see Ryan Stanek. I'm trying to win a World Series, and if you're trying to do that, you got to trim the fat now. I think the potential of Tong, and I don't care about the 40-man decisions, the potential of Sproat and Tong, and obviously McLean was greater than what Montas is, what Reed Garrett, or what Stanek is. Montas, different situation because he signed next year, so they're just going to cut him when they're going to have to pay him $17 million to be a part of the rotation next year. Hope that he could figure it out in the offseason. But I'm trying to make this team the best that I can to go win a division now, and there's only 38 games to go.
Well, I mean, listen, I look at somebody like Montas, and you were out on Friday, and I guess he would have said, he said this on Thursday. He's like, I'm not thrilled about it. Like we care. Like he's not thrilled about his changing roles. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. What a very noble approach. A guy that's been knocked around left and right is now thrilled with his position with the Mets. Tough. You got to get over it. So I would rather have somebody like I'm with you, like the unknown and the intrigue of the young pitchers. It has always been something that I find interesting, provided that the veteran is showing signs of no longer having it. Now, which is where Montas is at. The one place that you and I are very different, I'm not really in a rush to take a kid up and first time he gets a taste of the major leagues, have him go to a different role. I don't love that, but if the Mets think that they can, they know their temperament, they know their personalities, and if they think they can handle it, then I'm all for it. I don't love it, but you got to trust. They know their players.
And in my scenario, it would be Sproat up to the rotation and Holmes to the bullpen because you keep a starter being a starter and you move Holmes back to the bullpen. But Holmes was pretty good last night.
He was pretty good.
Lindor's poor defense didn't help him out, had him exhausted there in that third or fourth inning, whatever it was, but he ended up responding nicely. So, hey, they just needed to stabilize a little bit. Again, they have guys that have been proven before, whether it be Senga, whether it be Holmes, whether it be Minaya. Like, they have guys that have been proven. I'm not asking Montas to go out there and throw 5 innings because he can't do it. And obviously that's why they moved into the bullpen. So at least with the proven commodities, they just basically got to hope it's going to turn around. David Peterson, he had maybe the one bad start that was the aberration for him. All of a sudden, you start to string those starts together. That's how you piece this thing together and stabilize and put everything back into place.
Listen, I could say this. So I don't think the Mets will win the division, and I haven't thought that for a while. Doesn't mean that I'll be right. Clearly, I think most people, like, they're plus 500 something to win it right now. I'm just saying that I've seen crazy stuff happen. Yep. I'm not giving up belief until it's definitive. Like, if they go 3-3 over the next 6, I think mathematically and what you've seen, it's unrealistic to think that. Right now, I don't think the Phillies are that good either, by the way. They've got flaws. I don't think either New York team's going to win the division. Yeah. But, to me, I don't think that it's irresponsible or nutty to say, hey, I think the Mets are going to go on a run, and they're going to cut into this lead, and you get into September. If this is the Lindor, you get the rest of the way, and Soto and everything that you've said. I don't think it's nuts to think that they could win the division, but the evaluation of the Mets, it's tied into this fragileness because they've given us so many reasons to think that they can't do it. For me, it doesn't seem cohesive with what I would think and what I've seen so far to say that they're gonna or that they could win the division. But this is baseball. It's a long run. And it's not like they were a 75-win team a year ago. This team has elements of a winning DNA because of last year. They've just been erratic. And if this weekend was the start of ending that volatility, be nice to see.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. Got to get some football from the weekend as well. We'll do that coming up at 11. We got Yankee stuff here. Yankees getting back in the thick of things with their sweep of the Cardinals. So a lot to do here on this Monday morning. BT and Sal on the Fan. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Here's a high drive right field. Line drive, goodbye.
The Yankees head to Tampa to play the Rays. 7:35 tomorrow night. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all of the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. 24 hours of deals on all your football season predictions. So take a flyer on the MVP race. Can Jaden Daniels take the next step and win the award in just his second season? Can C.J. Stroud bounce back after a sophomore slump? Maybe a healthy Dak Prescott can win his first. Crown your champion in August. Will the Bills finally do it? Can the Eagles go back-to-back? Or maybe a long shot like the Bengals or Packers will win it all. Or parlay your division winner dark horses. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now because Futures Day is one day and one day only. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Make every mile unforgettable in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Their expert team will help you find the perfect fit with flexible lease and finance options that make driving luxury easier than ever. Mercedes-Benz of Edison, your destination for luxury driving.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Your call cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
The U.S. Open Tennis Championships kick off with Fan Week, week 1 of the 3-week tennis spectacular, and admission is completely free. Catch the world's best tennis players up close as they prepare for the championships. The grounds will be buzzing all week long with live DJ sets, special guests, giveaways, and more. U.S. Open Fan Week, August 18th through August 23rd. Be part of the action. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK. They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve. D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When it comes to trucks and SUVs, Long Island drives Arnold Chevrolet. Located in West Babylon, Arnold Chevrolet isn't just a dealership, it's a team that's been together for decades. The same friendly salespeople, the same trusted managers. That kind of loyalty is rare, and it shows in the way they treat you. With great service, unbeatable deals, and a huge selection of Silverados, Tahoes, Trailblazers, and so many more. Arnold Chevrolet, 670 Montauk Highway, West Babylon. ArnoldAutos.com. And remember, nobody discounts like Arnold.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey.
In a week, in a couple of days, it just feels totally different after a few wins. Yanks had that last week, and then obviously over the course of the weekend, we'll get to them coming up in a little bit. And the Mets finally winning a series. It's like, geez, is that all it takes? Is winning a series to make it feel good? Yes, stabilizing a little bit and then hoping to build from it. Obviously, if they go and lose to the Nationals or lose to the Braves, then they're in trouble. We were just talking about during the break. That's why I looked at this 12-game stretch. And even me, like, in the moment, I'm like, geez, how can they lose to Atlanta? I told you, if they lose to Atlanta, I'm done. Meanwhile, they lose 2 out of 3 to Atlanta. But my goal of 9-3 is still there. Who's to say that they can't win 6 in a row here and go 9-3? All right, 8-4. I take it. Put it this way. It needs to be something like that to realistically, mathematically still be alive for the division. before you take on the Phillies on Monday, right? That's when they play the Phillies.
Phillies are Monday, yeah.
Right, so they get the
3 games
off today,
Yep.
3 in Washington, 3 in Atlanta, then back home to take on the Phillies for 3. They get the Reds on their schedule still. They have another series in September with the Phillies as well.
Playing Detroit, too. Probably face Schoolable at some point. That's in Detroit.
They're going to be tested. But that's what I mean, like 38 games or whatever. That's a lot. That's a lot of baseball still to go. You're talking about, nearly 40 games.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to change the opinions or the feel for the season, but there's also enough baseball to reinforce the feeling that's kind of swallowed up the Mets for most of the summer. It can go both ways, is what I'm saying.
But don't you think that, why are we evaluating June 13th to August 8th, what is today, 17th? August 18th more than April to June? Because on June 13th, I know the afternoon show made a big deal about it, but you and I were at that point talking about, Mets and Yankees right now on top of the sport for both teams. But so April, May, June, that counts just as much as June 13th to August 18th.
It does. I mean, literally, I'm not pushing back on that, but just take any team that we follow. I mean, let's say Mike Brown and the Knicks start 17-2, and we're like, oh, here we go. It looks phenomenal. Knicks are cooking. They made the right move, and then all of a sudden there's a 2-month malaise where Towns and Brunson aren't cooking, or this guy's not doing that, this guy isn't doing this. Now, I mean, at some point you got to react to what you see. I understand what you're saying. That's why when you bag wins early, nobody's looking to take them away or give them back there or even minimize it as less than a singular win. Right. Literally, you win a game, you lose. But I think because the manner in which they've lost, where there's been multiple malfunctions, the starters have been bad, the bullpen, even with the additions, and we got to give them time to get it right. I'm not saying that I'm not, but some of the early signs with Helsley are troubling and troublesome. Maybe he rectifies it, maybe he doesn't. And then the other things with the lineup, like the lower third, now Alvarez probably hurt again. Soto's been good, but not quite Soto. Lindor was on ice for 2 months. There was a lot to react to with these Mets.
But that's why with those particular guys, I would bank on their track record. And isn't it funny how last year was the total opposite? Last year they were the worst team in baseball until June or whatever it was. And then they took off and were the best team in baseball the rest of the way. And even then, I still had a hard time believing fully. And they barely made the postseason. They made it on the last day.
Yep.
And they should have lost really to Milwaukee if not for Pete Alonso either knowing what pitch was coming, whatever it may be against Evan Williams. You heard about that. They just tipping his pitches. They would have gone home in the first wild card round, and that wouldn't have been good enough. So people get caught up in the results of last year as opposed to looking at what was the majority of the year. I think they're better this year. I have more belief in this year's team, in the talent, in the reinforcements that they added at the deadline, what they did to start the year. I believe more in that than I do over the way that they've played since June 13th.
The biggest difference for me is that, if Minaya doesn't get right, so when we say that they could be better than last year's, anything could happen, or they are better, or they have more talent like that. That's also assuming that Minaya gets his act together. He's been terrible.
The only answer to that would be, okay, well, you have McLean who stayed, it can't be Minaya and nobody else. It could be, Peterson, McLean, Senga.
Yeah, there's other ways to get there. Understood.
He doesn't have to. If he's a bust, they just need the other 4 to pick it up, or potentially call up Sproat and take up his spot. Now you're asking a lot, but Minaya to me has been the biggest failure and disappointment so far because he's been a 0. And I believed in him based on what I saw in the second half of last year.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, because his overall track record. But at the very least, I didn't think he'd be this bad.
Yeah.
So if he's hurt or not going to be contributing at all, then it's get him out of the way and see how you're going to fix that spot, or at least have the other guys really pick him up.
Listen, I think the Mets are like a lot of teams in baseball, certainly in the NL. I think they're one of the good teams. I think they're flawed. I happen to think they're more flawed than maybe another, a team that they might ultimately fall in the playoffs to, maybe. Right. But no, this team is not without talent. If anything, these 2 months represent wild underachievement. So, and maddening inconsistency. So if this is the start to the Mets stabilizing their season, you know what I would say? It's about freaking time.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Kevin is calling from Monroe, Connecticut. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. What's up?
Hi, Kev.
Yeah, so, I hope, like you said, I hope it's the beginning of the stabilization. I'm not, fully bought in. They need to go sweep the Nationals and just kind of get on a roll here. But I really think Stearns missed out on fixing the rotation by getting Holmes into the bullpen. They should have used some of these prospects instead of getting Rodgers maybe. What are we doing with Holmes? He's going to be closing in on 150, 60, 70 pitches and then entering the playoffs. Why not get a starter and move Holmes to the pen? He can't pitch, triple the innings.
Well, they might, but I think what would be probably pretty advantageous, and thanks for the call there, Kev, to the Mets, if they're going to go that route, Sal, wouldn't you rather do it now or in a week so that Holmes now has ample time to retransition to his old role rather than, it's October 2nd.
Yeah, but
Holmes, you're the pen.
But a lot of times once you get to the postseason, it's like, okay, you've done your job in the regular season. Now you're going to be moved to the pen, which I don't. Remember, we talked about this last year with the Yankees. It's not about the innings. It was with the Yankees with Heel, and now it's the Mets with Holmes. It's not about the innings. It's about the metrics showing if there is a drop-off.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes, this is not debatable, has been one of the Mets' best starting pitchers this entire year. So even with his faults or deficiencies, can't go deep in a game, has been off a little bit as of late, a month or so, he's still been one of their best starting pitchers. Last night, he was terrific against a good Mariners team. So you just got to know what it is that you're asking for. He's never going to be, at least in my opinion, a 6-inning, 7-inning guy. You need to maximize his 5 innings. Is that Clay Holmes going out there for 5 innings, whether it be game 4 of a postseason series, whether it be right now in the rotation, is that better than the replacement for him, let's say Brandon Sproat, when you move Clay Holmes to the bullpen? If you asked me a week ago, I said I can't deal with this with Clay Holmes anymore. There are too many limitations. But maybe that would have been too reactionary, and they're being patient. And now off of last night, it's like, okay, let's see what he can do next time. And if their metrics, which I don't have, because I would just think, well, the innings are obviously he's going to be tired here. That's why he's not performing. But if their metrics are saying otherwise, then you have to trust that until they see them start to show a clear decline in performance. I'm not talking about third time through the order. I'm talking about in general. Yeah. Then ride him in the starting rotation.
Yeah. I mean, I remember bringing this up last year. And I always thought this for a long time as well. Benchmark innings. No, it's about the RPMs and the things that we don't really want to talk about on the radio, but obviously are paramount to their decisions. I would love to know what those numbers are, analytically speaking, because I have to think that there's been a bit of a drop in those numbers that correlate to a drop in performance, last night aside. Right. Listen, Clay, at the end of the day, a power sinker is really the toughest pitch to have to be economical, because you just think about where you have to throw it. If you start it too high and it finishes at the letter, it's going to get mashed. If you start it too middle to too low, it's going to scrape the worms and it's going to basically hit the dirt, and you're going to throw a lot of pitches just because you're falling behind 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. So I don't ultimately know what the answer is. I have faith in Clay Holmes, whether it's the first inning or the 8th inning, to get meaningful outs. I do. Right. His stuff is terrific. Right. They got to manage it properly. We'll see what happens.
Right, and it's either going to be 4 innings, 5 innings, maybe 2 or 3 innings if they do move him to the bullpen. You just got to think about, okay, well, what are the better options at this point? And McLean, after what he did, it's easy to say, well, maybe Sproat could do that. Maybe not, though, and we have no idea. Anthony's calling from Bridgewater, New Jersey. What's up, Ant? Bless you.
What's up,
Thank
guys?
you. Thanks
for taking my call, guys.
What's up, Ant?
First off, I agree with you, Brandon. Halsey has been terrible. And Sal, I get that, you're going to go with hopefully he gets better, but it's not even so much to me giving up.
No, hold on. It's not hopefully he's going to get better. It's that he has been terrific in his career. He's had 6 outings. 2 have been good, 4 have been bad. So you're going to make a definitive... Now,
let me make one point. I want to fight you about Halsey, but let's be honest, though. I mean, that's a decent sample when you're starting in a pennant race here, when you have 6 quality, and then he's getting him bombs too. By the way, they're hitting home runs off him, not little dribblers or walks. They're hitting home runs.
They're hitting
off
them.
Yeah,
they're hitting them hard. Yep.
Diaz never got hit hard. Diaz never got hit hard.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen Edwin Diaz be as bad as you could be for an entire year. Listen, and now what is he?
I know.
So you think I'm going to overreact to a guy who's got a 3 ERA and has been lights out with the Cardinals in 6 measly outings? I'm not going to do it. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I still believe Halsey's going to be lights out. I still believe that wholeheartedly. We'll find out.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. And 2 other points real quick before I go. Minaya, worried about him too a little bit. His sample size has been more bad than good in his career. I mean, he had the little arm angle change last year.
Him I'm worried about.
Yes. And then finally, I don't know if you guys got a chance to look. I mean, obviously we want to win the division, but did you see how brutal the Reds' schedule is?
No.
They have 13 or 14 games on the West Coast still. with Padres, Dodgers, Angels, A's.
Oh, good.
And they have to play the Blue Jays, Cubs. Like, that's tough.
Here's the bottom line, though, Ann, and thank you for the call. Dude, this is where I draw the line here. You can't be looking at back into the postseason as a final wild card team and worry about the Cincinnati freaking Reds. All due respect. Terry Francona or not. Like, I'll be damned if I'm sitting here as a Met fan with Steve Cohen, with the talent that they brought in, with the payroll that they have spent, worrying about trying to back in because of the Reds. I'm not even, the Reds aren't a thought in my freaking mind. I'm not worried about the Reds. If the Mets I'll say it even further. If the Mets make the playoffs as the third wild card team, that's an embarrassment. The third wild card team? Like, you only got in because Manfred is expanding the sport beyond belief? There's no way that should happen. Now, you take it, you get in, you take your chances, but...
like last year.
Right, but last year's a different story. This year, there's no way that should be good enough. I'm not saying you automatically have to win the division, but you think Met fans should be okay with looking at the Reds' schedule, hoping that their West Coast trip or whatever's on their schedule should aid the Mets in getting into the postseason? That is pathetic. No, thank you. I want no part of that. Go catch the Padres. Go catch somebody else in there. You're going to back in because Cincinnati's not any good. That's why I'm so focused on the division here. Like, you get in, okay, you take it, but the third wild card, that would be a very, very, very disappointing regular season if the Mets were to get in. I don't care if they get in, if they were to get in as a third wild card team.
Well, I think the right word that you used was embarrassing. I mean, what's the Reds' payroll? Well, 120, 150, I have no idea what it is. I know what the Mets is, 330 now. We also know that, there are other teams, and the Mets aren't alone. Yanks have flushed down some money. Dodgers, I mean, every team, Phillies, any team that spends a lot of money doesn't spend every single penny wisely. But I also don't get, I can't write the Reds off because, quite frankly, I don't watch them every night. Right. I get it, even with Toronto, I didn't write Toronto off. I see Toronto a lot more because they play the Yankees a lot more than the Mets play the Reds, and I'm dialed into it more. But I don't just, because a team doesn't have a recent track record, I don't know. I know they play a brand of baseball that's pretty exciting. I think they've got one of the best managers this century in Francona. So I'm going to give him a puncher's chance, but I don't get too wrapped up in the Mets now. The Mets have to sweep the Nationals. Just play good baseball, like the sweeps or, it's not about that. Just, collect a couple of wins each series. Don't get punked by the Phillies when you play them. And you keep this up for the next 40 games. The Mets should be in good shape.
Yeah,
should.
And it's a great point about Cincinnati. That's not to disparage Francona or the Reds or their talent or what they've done.
I'm not watching them every night.
Yeah, and I don't care. This is New York. Look at the talent that the Mets have in comparison to what Cincinnati has. Look at how much they've spent. And you get callers calling and being like, oh, well, the Reds' schedule is difficult. No, that to me is embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Yeah, you want to get in, but as far as if we were to grade the regular season and the Mets barely make the postseason, even if they make it 5 games better than the Reds, to me as a third wild card, that's not good enough.
119 is the payroll. 119.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And now, their schedule's tough. No, this should not be last year, maybe. Just trying to get in with an upstart team, maybe. Yeah. I'm not mentioning World Series, when I've tried to be positive during this rut here. I'm not talking about World Series team and all that. Worry about that in the playoffs. But as far as the regular season goes, you got to get in by a third wild card, and you're backing your way in. That, to me, is pathetic.
I didn't think the season, it might not be, I didn't think the season would come down to Met fans scoreboard watching what the Reds are doing against the Pirates.
Come on, man. Come on. Pick it up a little bit.
888-808-1019. Speak to and Sal here on The Fan on this Monday. Get to the Yankees, Jets, and Giants as well. I mean, we got a lot to unpack. Jackson Dart, Abdul Carter talking smack. Jets passing game not looking good. Hey, this summer, stay cool and hydrated with the official water of Major League Baseball. That's Primo Brands. With the Primo Brands water delivery, you get premium hydration from trusted brands like Poland Spring, Pure Life. I got a little Poland right here. Pure Life in Saratoga, and it's delivered. How was Saratoga, by the way, Sal? Do you do okay with the ponies or no?
Great trip. Bloodbath, though.
We got to get into that, Sal. I heard Sal, Wallen took a little dent there. We'll get the full story. And it's delivered right to your door. So stock up for game day or just keep everybody refreshed. Still sparkling or flavored, there's something for everybody. And the best part, you call the shot. So whether you need a couple of cases or a full week supply, Primo's flexible delivery fits your schedule. Step up to the plate. Hydrate like a pro with Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on The Fan, 101.9 FM.
This is not his fault, right? How's that?
Because the guys in front of him are getting on base.
Oh, come on. What's his numbers with runners in scoring position, bro?
I mean, it's been terrible all season.
So don't give me that. You're wrong.
I'm just trying to,
don't try. I mean, seriously, you don't have to try.
I mean, you are paying him $70 million.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, paid for by NHTSA. Drunk driving changes your world. Drive sober or get pulled over. It's been a full year since Austin Dillon won his last NASCAR Cup Series race. Saturday night, he returned to Richmond Raceway to capture his second straight victory there and also secure an unexpected spot in the upcoming playoffs. I'm Boomer Esiason.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Water damage happens fast. So can the cleanup when you call on the restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
If you're looking for a great price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire, where you always get the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires. But it doesn't end there, because Town Fair Tire gives you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. More free services than any other tire dealer. That's why we say nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices.
Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens, and now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
The Wendy's Yankees turning point of the game contest here. BT and Sound on the Fan. On the Fan, Wendy's the official hamburger of the Yanks. Yanks looking better, much better over the weekend. First one to identify yesterday's turning point of the game. Give us a call, 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326, and you'll receive 2 pairs of tickets to a 2025 Yankees regular season game. But it's all from your flagship station for Yankees baseball, the Fan. So Yanks have stabilized things as well. Back-to-back series wins. Obviously, the Twins won. You would like to see the sweep there. They won the first 2, lost the third. And then over the weekend with the Cardinals. Now, I'm not going to go nuts over this either here, but to cherry-pick a couple things that I really liked over the weekend. Ben Rice is a hitter, man. Mm-hmm. I don't know what position this young man's going to play for the Yankees. Might wind up being catcher.
They
ultimately.
love him at catcher.
Can't
block a ball, but they love him at catcher. They love the way he calls the game.
He's definitely better than he is at first base, because every time Volpe throws one to the dirt, I haven't seen him pick one yet. So if he's going to gravitate to a certain defensive position, it might wind up being catcher. Who knows? That's what he was by trade. Anyway, Ben Rice was great Saturday. Luis Gil gives you something to latch onto from Friday. But my favorite part, Sal, I know the Cardinals aren't that good. I love that the Yankees scored 8 runs yesterday and didn't have a home run.
Right.
I love that. And that's why some of their recent wins, like the first Twins game, I got on the air, and I think you were out that day. I said, I'm not looking to give any wins back here. You got to take them and stash them and keep them moving here. But I've just seen that script too many times. You bludgeon an overwhelmed pitcher. You hit 3-4 home runs. They hit 4 that night that I'm referencing. 8 runs, couple of stolen bases, a little, go the other way. Yeah, I like the way they looked yesterday.
Yeah, I think that here's what I would say about the Yankees. Fried is a big concern, by the way. Maybe not a big concern.
No, massive.
Well, when I say big concern, I still trust that he'll get a turnaround. He's been a massive problem as of late. I don't know what the hell's going on with Max Fried just getting lit up.
Yeah.
That entire series was a hideous display of baseball. But the Yankees won 3 games. The closing situation is figured out with Bednar. Heel, like you said, is encouraging. And to me, the reason why I never gave up hope on what the Yankees can be is their offense can still be elite. Their offense, their lineup can be as good as anybody's in the game. Now, will that happen in October? I have no idea. But especially when you have the first 2 guys, Grisham, Rice, getting on in front of Judge.
Yep.
Because now you're making an impossible decision. You can't pitch around Judge, and if you do, you're going to be screwed, because I think the guys behind Judge this year are better than they were last year. So you want to say Glaber, Soto, Judge at their peak. Could that be better than this top 3? Okay, whatever. Obviously, we know what Judge and Soto were together. But their top 3 right now, Grisham, Rice, Judge, is terrific. And the guys behind Judge now are better with Bellinger when Stanton's actually in the lineup. Mm-hmm. Should lengthen it out. Jazz even in there. Whatever you want to go, however you want to go up and down that lineup, the rest of that lineup. I don't like Dominguez. I know he had a couple hits, but he'll be out of there once.
McMahon.
Yeah, McMahon,
okay.
Whatever. Right, fine. And he made the error over whatever the point is. I think that their lineup is deeper. That to me, when people are like, oh, well, the Yankees are done, I'm like, I'm not giving up on this team. because of that offense. Their offense is just too good. The only question mark becomes, well, against good pitching, is it going to be there? And that's what you're going to see in the postseason. But as far as the regular season, with their schedule being the way that it is and with their bats being what they are, I have no concerns about the Yanks mashing their way to a postseason.
I think they'll be a playoff team. I still don't think they win the division. I just don't. Now, those last 13, 14 games are very, easy. Certainly, I bet you got the Orioles, you got the White Sox. I mean, they'll be completely checked out. So the Yankees might just rip off, they might go 11-2 or 12-1, and they could win the division. I don't see it myself, and I've said that for a while now. But I think the Yankees are a playoff team.
2 teams in front of them. I mean, a big series with the Red Sox coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. I'm going to get some answers here. But the biggest question is, without Max Fried, the Yankees really don't have a chance to win a championship. Like, this is not 2 starts or 3 starts, and even if Max Fried pitches really well, I still don't love their chances to win a championship. I've said that, but Sal, this is not a 4 or 5 games. Max Fried,
yeah, I know,
10 starts, 10. I mean, think about this. If you are healthy and you are an ace, you generally make 32, 33 starts a year. So we are now trending in the vicinity of, and it could be worse if he doesn't stabilize it, 32, 33, 35, 40% of his starts this year not being any good.
Yeah, especially
Max Fried's been bad.
Especially when they need it the most here down the stretch. I know, but still with a guy with that potential and with that track record, I still believe he's going to get it turned around at some point. There's been a little bit of bad luck in there. You're right, he's been bad. He's giving up home runs left and right.
He's walking guys. That's what concerns me.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can't stand when pitchers do that. I'm not sure what the issue is, but either way, he's got, for them to have any chance in the postseason, he's got to figure that out. But I still think they'll hit their way to
the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
Maybe to the division as well.
I mean, think about this. Like, just with Fried some more. Like, even if Fried is, let's say, 15 to 20% better the rest of the year eventually. Again, I don't think it's going to flip on a dime and go back to being Cy Young first 2 months max. I don't see that happening. But I would think that he would be better rather than worse. Would the 15 or so percent uptick in Fried, would that be enough if what we saw from Luis Gil is a foreshadow of Luis Gil coming and starting to ready to do some damage here? Could be.
Yeah, Rodon still got the potential. Gil, thank goodness, stabilizing a little bit here for the Yanks. It's still, like Booney says, everything right there in front of him. Well, he said a good, I forget what it was, but it was a good one. I think it was after yesterday's. Like, basically, they haven't even hit their apex yet as a team all year long. Now, the thing is, hey, there's 38 games or something to go. We get it. And they're hoping that Judge can play the outfield. Bellinger, 2 left. So you got Bellinger, Grisham, Judge. That is a loaded outfield. You got Ben Rice and Stanton in that lineup
Goldschmidt
together.
hit a little bit over the weekend when he played.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's going to, you would hope, match lefties. That'll be his job. But they have some depth there. Defensive replacement at first base.
Caballero, get some stolen bases. I love it. I actually like what he brings to the team.
Me too. That was one of the reasons why I gave Cashman an A, not just the bullpen moves, but because of that move right there. That's the type of player that can help your roster construction.
No doubt.
Where you could use him all over the place. A speedy guy that could put the bat on the ball. That's something that they needed. So Yanks back a little bit here and should get better here, you would think, with the schedule being what it is. Anthony's calling from Manalapan. What's up, Ant?
What's going on, guys? As much as we talk about how good Ben Rice has been doing, his advanced stats are even crazier. His expected OPS is almost 1,000, which, is one of the best in the league. He is the most unlucky hitter in all of baseball based on how hard he hits the ball and everything.
And Boone was saying that for a while during the early stages of the season. And you're right. But not everybody's into it's one thing to reference certain stats like, whiff rate, whatever. We always have fun with that. But you start getting into expected OPS like that. That's a little bit much for some. Not for me, but for some. I'll just tell you this. Watch Ben Rice play baseball. The guy squares up and hits the ball hard. And the stats do back that up as much as anybody on the team. Yeah, as much as Aaron Judge.
Yeah, the only issue that you could identify that early on. Like
immediately.
This is a big thing. The only issue that I would have is he doesn't have a position, and on a team that has already at least one DH, he's another one. I wouldn't trust him at first base in a big spot, and I certainly wouldn't trust him behind the plate. Now, they do. They like him at catcher. And Austin Wells has been a 0 this year for the most part. I mean, especially big picture.
With the average and stuff.
Well,
no, he's disappointed me. I actually like Ben Rice much better behind the plate than at first base. To me, he's not a first baseman. I'm not saying he's Pudge Rodriguez.
I know. I don't think he's a catcher either.
I mean, he might not be.
Now, there's a difference.
He ain't a first baseman.
Right, well, but if I were to tell you, now you tell me, this is why today's baseball is so weird. If I were to tell you that he's great offensively and calls a great game, but can't throw anybody out and is below average, to put it kindly, as far as blocking balls behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's a big league catcher?
I don't, but it's also 2025 where there's a finite amount of engagements and guys don't run as much, even though they're starting to run more because of the 2 engagements you're permitted. But if this was like the 70s and 80s with Ricky Henderson and
he'd never make
Davey Lopes run a while, that Willie, he's got no shot.
And he still might not now, but like they're hanging on the idea that he calls a good game. And they want to get his bat in the lineup in addition to having Stanton's bat in the lineup and probably Goldschmidt as well.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is say, well, he calls a good game and he's a great bat, so we'll forget about the fact that he can't throw anybody out and his subpar at blocking balls behind the plate. So to me, I value defense first as a catcher. Calling a great game, blocking balls, having a good arm. Like, I wouldn't say you have to throw out, 50% of your arms, whatever the highest number is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I value those things and figure out a way to move that bat somewhere else.
And by the way, Sal, if you don't need to look at metrics and deep dive in numbers, I mean, think about when Alvarez was a mess defensively. It's very easy for us to detect when a guy's not blocking the ball properly or receiving it properly. Same with Rice, certainly with certain situations. The thing that I don't get too wrapped up in, like, when and I don't do this, but some do, like they laud, and the Yankees do, like he calls a good game, but most of what is called is a reaction to the numbers. Yeah. This guy's weak against the slider. This guy's susceptible to this. It's not like any of these catchers are like so like pre-programmed and just can read the future or just have such great gut. No, it's all based on what these guys at the plate do.
But maybe his head is just more in the game than Austin Wells.
I can't quantify that. Maybe they can. I don't know.
There are certain ways to say, like Austin Wells walking off a second base.
No, I think you meant beyond the plate.
That's a part of it too. Yeah. But that's one glaring example that can make you think, hey, maybe his head is just not as into it as Ben Rice. But either way, the Yankees offense.
He can hit, though, man. He swings the bat, boy.
Dude.
He hammers it.
You kidding me? I mean, the way Grisham season with Rice in front of Judge, that is a potent 1, 2, 3. And having Bellinger, Stanton behind them. That's what I'm saying, man. Yankees still very dangerous, right? BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls. We come back. Mets and Yanks. We'll get into the football stuff as well. 888-808-1019 right now. Let's get you updated. Here's Crystal Presti.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good morning at 11 o'clock. I'm Crystal Presti. This report is sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Also sponsored by Cars for Kids, Cards with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of turning car donations into supporting children. Cars for Kids has helped more than 100,000 kids nationwide. Donate your used car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million proud donors, making a real difference. So the Mets took the rubber game last night from the Mariners 7-3. The Little League Classic from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and Francisco Lindor finally on a bit of a heater here now. 6-game hitting streak, and across his last 5, he's 13 for 21, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. As he goes, the Mets usually go.
Winning is fun. Winning brings people together. When you're going through tough times, good teams have conversation among themselves, and when you win, you celebrate a little bit more.
Much needed series win, especially after dropping Friday night's opener. Francisco Alvarez had to leave this game with a thumb injury after sliding in headfirst to second base. He will go for an MRI today here in New York, while the Mets enjoy a day off ahead of a road series against the Nationals beginning tomorrow night in D.C. As for the Yankees, they had a winning weekend in St. Louis, finishing off a sweep of the Cardinals in Sunday's finale 8-4. They plated 4 runs in the top of the 9th. Paul Goldschmidt, who sat out Friday and Saturday with a sprained knee, had himself a ball game Sunday, 3 for 5 with a couple of doubles facing his former team. Yanks have the day off as well, and then they'll be on to Tampa for a 2-game series with the Rays. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Catena, Mercedes-Benz of Edison. We got 68 degrees, cloudy skies in Central Park, and with sports flashes at the top of the hour, I'm Crystal Presti.
Talk Yankees trades, Mets stats, Giants defense, and Jets prospects. All in one place. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Make every mile unforgettable in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. Their expert team will help you find the perfect fit with flexible lease and finance options that make driving luxury easier than ever. Mercedes-Benz of Edison, your destination for luxury driving.
Ready to score the biggest deal in breakfast? It's waiting for you at Dunkin'. Dunkin' is serving up the ultimate $5 meal deal. Get one premium hot or iced coffee and any two delicious wake-up wrap sandwiches for just $5. Whether you're fueling up for a big day or keeping it casual, this deal has you covered. A smooth, bold Dunkin' coffee paired with two warm, tasty wake-up wraps? Now that's what we call a big deal. Excludes espresso and cold brewed beverages. Modifications may be an additional charge. Participation may vary. Limited time offer cannot be combined with offers. Exclusion and terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
U.S. Open Fan Week. Week 1 of the 3-week U.S. Open starts today through the 23rd. It's free and open to the public. Catch world-class tennis, see top stars practice, and more. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts Love Earth Tour, Saturday, August 23rd, Northwell at Jones Beach Theater.
Somewhere on a desert highway, she rides a Harley Davidson.
Don't miss Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Athletes know performance starts in the gut. At Terra Origin, we fuse ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to fuel recovery, resilience, and real results. Our most popular gut health formulas are packed with probiotics, prebiotics, and time-tested herbs, supporting digestion, immunity, and endurance from the inside out. Because your gut powers more than your workout. It powers you. Terra Origin. Ancient roots, athletic results. Shop now at TerraOrigin.com.
With baseball in full swing, there's never a dull moment or a shortage of thrills in this league. The thrills are nothing new at Bay Ridge Mazda. Tired of that clunker you've been driving? Just bring it into Bay Ridge Mazda for up to $2,000 over book value all month long. The time is now to make a trade. Head over to the place where everybody wins. Bay Ridge Mazda, located on 4th Avenue and 90th Street, or buy your car direct at BayRidgeMazda.com and have it delivered to your door. That's Bay Ridge Mazda, 4th Avenue and 90th Street in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on the Fan, 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We're talking Mets and Yanks. We'll get into the football from the weekend as well, as season is here, BT. I mean, we're getting set now for football. Can't wait. I know we have some days coming off here the next couple of weeks or so, but then once we get back after Labor Day, that is it. Full bore, obviously with the baseball, going into the postseason, but football season is here, and there's nothing better around the NFL. I bought my magazines yesterday, all set to do my normal prep. I still do the old school.
I like the magazines myself.
Oh, dude. Because it's right there in front of you and you have it. Like, you could do it online, but I like having the magazine, so I got a couple of fantasy.
What'd you get, Athlon? What'd you do?
Yeah, one Athlon, one Lindsay's.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then I did, for the NFL prep, you know what I actually did, which I couldn't believe I did, is because I'm like, I'm not doing it. We're not going to do college football. But I just couldn't help it because I loved it. And I used to do it all the time when I was doing the Columbia games and when I would be betting college football.
Yeah.
I bought the Phil Steele.
Oh, yeah, that's an old one, Steele.
Yeah, but dude, it's $20. It's like 300 plus pages of every college game, and it started to make me think I want to get more into it, especially with Belichick coaching this year with college. Anyway, but just to have some insight, whether you want to follow the up-and-coming players, which usually, I personally don't care about it or haven't cared about it in recent years, but maybe get more into it this year.
I love getting those magazines. I remember when they would come out. Remember Street and Smith's?
Yeah,
that was my go-to for hoops. And after I'd be done reading it, I would cut out all the pictures. This is like going back to Reggie Miller at UCLA and just make it like a collage on my door. And oh my God, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I used to do it obviously a lot more as a kid, but even in recent years, I'd say within the last 10, 15 years or so, it started to get less frequent, but I would always get SI, NFL preview. But some of the things like, I don't really care about this quarterback story. I want the inside. I want the info from around the league. And now with print, like this stuff that I bought yesterday probably was printed, a month ago?
Probably. So it's dated. Guy pulls a hamstring. Who the hell knows what happens?
That's exactly right. But at least it gives you a reminder of new faces, new places, head coach, offense, scheme, this and that. Certainly the fantasy stuff helps. So it's at least a nice solid guide, and then it's on you to do the rest of the.
Well, you want some intel for betting as well. Think about that.
100%.
I mean, not just the fantasy team, but which is betting, but the gambling stuff. I mean, and think about some of these crooks, man. Back in the day, I remember like reading like the Post or the news, and I think even sometimes my dad had these numbers circled. He's probably called them at some point. Tonight's lock, Monday night, Colts and Niners. Lock, like these guys. And if you're a gambler and you're desperate, you'll believe anything. So you will pick up that phone. Oh, this guy's got a 5-star platinum lock.
Yeah.
How can we not win?
Yeah, that was like me at Saratoga over the weekend.
How much did you lose?
It's so bad I can't even disclose.
Thousands?
So normally I'm not a handicapper.
No.
But I bet. But a lot of people go, and I'm talking about betting the races, like the horse races, when you go and handicap a race.
Like Moose does that, right?
Correct.
He's pretty
Moose
good at that
excellent
stuff.
at that.
Yeah.
My buddy Saratoga Wills. Yeah, exactly. Like they're actually handicappers. Leon Seiler, who I see there, they know what they're talking about. Usually I'll look at the horse in the eye in the paddock. I'm like, oh, he looks like a beast. I'll look at the name.
But did you just say you looked at the horse's eyes?
I want to see what he's made of. Yeah, I want
to see if he's locked in?
Yeah, I want to see what he's made of.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll look at the odds. So like it's not a formula, but it's just like I look at the names of the horse, I start to get a gut feel. Then I'll look at the odds, and I would not bet a favorite. So whatever, I have my system. But this weekend, I'm not going specifically to bet. Like, that's not the primary reason. I'm going to hang out and sit there and enjoy, which I did. Surfsides all day long, sitting at the track, nothing better on a summer day. We did it Friday, Saturday. But my buddy Saratoga Wills and his buddy Brad, they are like partners in handicapping and the pick 5 and pick 6. So like, all I'm going to do basically is be an investor. I'll just ride with you guys, whatever we do. I'll sit this one out. I'll trust you, ride. Maybe give a little advice of like, so formatically or systematically, hey, if you like this, why don't we just put more on this and forget about adding another race to it? Whatever. Bloodbath. Could not have gone worse. Right from the get-go, we hit a race, right? You win. All right, here we go. We're moving now. We got the first one here. Good to go. Inquiry. You know what an inquiry is?
I don't.
Okay, they have to review it and can pull the horse down because it bumped another horse. So that's rare. It happens quite a bit, but it's rare that it happens when you have a specific winner.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I
haven't had. So we had that happen. One, celebrate.
So you rescinded the win, or they did?
Yeah, inquiry. They pulled the horse down, and then the second one. So that happened on Friday, and we're like, oh crap, and that set Friday off in a bad way.
Yep.
Saturday, same thing happens.
Wait, so the first two races, the first race Friday.
One of the races on Friday. It was like race 5 or something like that.
This happens 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, dude. I've never had that happen.
Just stop betting at that point. You got to know. You got to pull out.
So now you get to the funny part of the trip where we're getting just hammered. And you're right. I'm like, guys, you know what? If we could just have a sign that maybe it's not going to be our weekend. Meanwhile, look at the signs that are like inquiry here, horse got injured, another inquiry there. It got so bad that we left the track early on Saturday with like 4 or 5 races to go, and we went to the Racino.
You did? Wait a second. All right, so how many races do you think you bet in totality? 8, 10, 12? How many did you throw anything on? 15?
A lot. Well, remember, pick 5s and pick 6s are when you pick in like 5 races.
Like a 5-team parlay almost.
And you could lose it on the second leg.
Understood.
So that would happen a lot.
20-ish, 20, some sort. Yeah, so you had action spread on at least 20, 25?
I would say at least 10. Think about it. I think the first day there was 10 races on the card.
Okay.
Then there were, I'd say about 15, maybe more.
And you went 0 for 15?
Well, no, you would cash like 1, but then overall the big bets were.
So you went 1 for 15.
Are we counting the inquiries?
No, not if you don't get to keep the money. We're not counting the inquiries.
Here's what you need to go.
You got crushed.
Here's what you need to know. We went over.
We went over.
a bloodbath unlike any other. And then at the casino, or playing a little roulette.
He lost there too.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, the only solace is that you don't have.
You ever take out a cash advance or the?
I actually have. I mean, not in a long time, thank God. But the only solace it seems is that you didn't have to get in the car and your wife say, "How much did we lose today?"
My wife,
you know
God love her. This is where I'm gonna. Usually I like jab or whatever. She said, she asked, "Did you win or lose?" I said, "We lost." She said, "Okay, well, I kind of expected that because we never win." I said, "You're right."
We never win.
And then,
thanks, honey.
And then she didn't even ask. She said, "I don't even want to know. I don't want to." And I was like, "Good."
But won't she know when she sees maybe withdrawals, or do you have the man account?
No,
you got multiple. Okay, smart. So. Oh, dude.
It was robbed.
I mean,
so bad that I had. You'll like this story, and then we'll get back to the calls here. So I was staying at my buddy Wils's place at the Adelphi Hotel, right? It's like they own a place in the hotel. It's a nice hotel right in downtown Saratoga. Mm-hmm. And in the morning, I'm up at 6 yesterday because I wanted to just get home early. All right, whatever. We took our beating, enjoyed the trip, enjoyed the surf sides, whatever. So, and I'm going down to get the car, and I had 2 singles on me. And I don't know. What's a normal tip for a valet? 5, 10 bucks? Okay,
yeah, 5 to 10, depending upon
Fair
where
enough.
Yeah.
So, but I had 2 singles on me, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work. And then I go down there, and I'm like, "Hey, is there any valet here?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure. What's your last name?" And I tell him, and he goes, "Of course it is. Let's go Mets." So now,
there you go.
Yeah, he recognizes me.
Well, now you can't give him $2.
Yeah, which makes it even worse. And what am I supposed to do? I had nothing on me. I gave him the $2 in shame. Oof. And then I know. Oof. And I texted. He's like, "Oh, we'll hear tomorrow." I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah, and then I texted my buddy Will immediately, like, "Please go give him a 10 or a 20. I'll Venmo you." Yeah. But I had nothing. I didn't know what to do. And he's like, "I'll take care of it." But it's embarrassing.
I mean, that's.
What am I supposed to do?
How about go to an ATM?
Come on, it's 6 in the morning.
He ain't leaving. He ain't tipping till 6 in the morning.
Now, the first guy, when I dropped the car off, this is why I felt a little better. It was a different guy, but I gave him 10.
That does nothing for the guy on Sunday morning.
But I gave him the 10, and then I go, "Hey, do you have $5?" And he goes, "Oh, you're the sports guy, right?" I was like, "Just keep the 10. We're good to go."
Okay. I mean, this what an adventure. I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Now, this is less about the weekend, and I think that most men can relate to this. I have no idea how you can answer this.
Yeah.
Let's say instead of lose whatever you lost this weekend, let's say that you won a nice amount, like one big.
Right.
Let's say you won $100,000.
Jesus.
I know. There's a point behind this. You win $100,000. How much are you telling your wife that you won?
All of it.
You are?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah, because I want her to be happy. Like, I'm not saying I'd give her all of it, but I'd tell her about all of it. Mm-hmm. But the losses, I would tell her a fraction of what the reality is.
Well, I understand.
If I've done that as well. $100,000, she's going to be as happy as any. I want to make her as happy as possible.
But what I'm saying, she'd still be happy if you won $75,000. You put the other $25,000 in the man account. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, wow.
She's still going to be happy if she won $75,000.
Man,
you're going to be happy because you got 25 G's to bet on the Jets and the Giants.
There is no man account or hidden money.
All right, just asking.
You give it a little percentage.
I'm just asking.
Asking for BT and Sal, the BT and Sal Show, the fans presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Damien is in St. James. What's up, Damien?
What's up, guys? I just wanted to say something. The way you sound like the way you pick horses reminds me of, do you remember the show What's Happening?
Oh yeah, D just passed away.
Do you remember when Haywood picked the football teams by the color of their helmets? And he made Rerun's brother lose all this money.
I don't remember that episode, but I love that show. And D just passed away about 4 or 5 days ago. I love that show.
I know.
But Damien, here's the thing. I relinquish control. Yeah, I used to like that show
That's
too.
a good show.
I relinquish, and thank you for the call. I relinquish control, so you can't even say oh, your logic of picking horses is faulty. When I deferred to the experts who supposedly know what they're doing, and it was a bloodbath worse than I've ever had in my entire life at the track. So it's horse racing. You don't know.
I know.
My wife could go up there and pick a name, or Sammy could pick a name or a number, and you hit.
I mean, to me, now again, my dad still bets the horses a little bit.
Does he really?
Oh, I remember back in the day, he'd be like, I'll be right. Like when it was
You've never been to Saratoga with him?
No.
You really should take
I know, I need to go. But
Yeah.
he would drop me off. Like, this is when it was more socially acceptable to now you can't do this. But he'd be like, all right, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'd be sitting in the car being OTB.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
in the neighborhood, nobody's going to come and do anything. I mean, I don't even know if we locked the doors. Honestly, I think the car was still running. So I could listen to music. The point is, he loves the horses. I never got into them myself. But isn't it a lot easier? Like, if you're going to bet, like, say the Jets are +4, aren't the odds of, like, I got I can win.
Right.
I mean, I could push too. Right. But if I throw down $100 on the Jets to cover the number, isn't there a better chance I'm going to win that than going to a track and looking at 15 horses and not knowing what the hell's going to happen?
100%, but there are people that handicap that think that they do have a better idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
I
the
get
odds
that
are better.
part too,
I'll
but,
tell you
I
what
mean-
got sucked me in at a young age, because my uncles would take me to the OTB. And then my buddy Vin and I would go, even with, like, we had no money whatsoever, but turn 10 into 100. You're hoping.
You go to OTB? You yourself
Me,
went?
myself, and my buddy Vin, when we could start driving, we would go to OTB.
What was it, 18 to bet? Or was it 21 back then? I don't even remember.
Probably 18.
Wow.
Yeah, because we just first started driving, so probably 18.
Yeah.
But two examples. My father, who knew nothing about anything with sports.
Not a big sports guy.
And hated gambling, like despised it. He would look at my uncles and be like, you knucklehead morons, wasting your money. So
He's not wrong.
You're correct, right? So we go to the track, we go to OTB one day, for whatever reason, must have been like a family party. My uncles got the itch. They wanted to go up to OTB. And my father's looking like, look at these guys. And there was a horse named Be Somebody. Okay, that was like, let's say 35 to 1, whatever. He's like, hey, these guys don't know what they're doing. Be Somebody. I'm going to put $10 on that horse. Be Somebody. And it comes in 35 to 1.
Got it.
Yeah, so that hit. And then I remember one time hitting a long shot when I went to OTB by myself, Apache Temper. You remember the wins like that.
Yeah.
Same thing. It was like huge. I told the story before. Whatever I bet, 10, 20 bucks on it. It was like 35 or 40 to 1. I went and bought an authentic John Starks Golden State Warriors jersey.
Warriors, no less.
But those type of hits, and it just shows you, like, I knew nothing, my father knew nothing, and the people that do sometimes don't hit. So I don't know. It's not an exact
That
science.
sounds like you were hanging with the Mush crew this weekend. They didn't bring you a whole lot of success.
Big Brad, he took us down. He took us down a bad path. Saratoga Wills and Big Brad took us down a bad path.
That is...
yeah, a bad path.
That's a rough weekend, dude. Now, did it just, like, destroy the whole week? Can you at least have fun?
No, yeah. Well, no, we had
because I've been to casinos, it's been a little bit, but, like, where if I get plastered in terms of losing money, I'm not really having fun. I might ask the waitress, yeah, I'll take another drink. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Sure, okay, I'll have one more. I'm not really enjoying myself.
Could have been more fun, let's put it that way. It was fun.
Yeah, I know. As long as you're not betting, as long as you're not...
well, right, exactly.
As long as you're not betting what you don't have, it's all relative.
Exactly.
I get it. I know you're responsible.
But it's not a good feeling. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, I had to call up the long guy and be like, hey, can you just hold off on cashing that check?
Yeah, don't aerate it. Don't aerate the sod this fall.
Forget the mulch. Yeah, let the weeds grow. BT and Sal, the Fan, 888-808-1019. Get back to your calls when we come back.
All right, guys, the biggest football contest in Vegas is back. Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million pick 5 games against the spread each week, 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread, lasts the longest to win it all, $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
The city's biggest indoor pickleball event is coming back October 10th and 11th, and it will sell out. Sign up for the fun or for the cash prizes. Go to 1010wins.com/pickleball for all the info. The pickleball tournament is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Summer is fading fast, so don't let your last family adventure of the season get away from you. Why not get up and get out there in a new 2020 Ford Explorer? Feel more confident with the available driver assist technology. Travel in comfort with the available powerful third row seats. Go off the beaten path with the terrain management system. Enjoy the Ford digital experience and stunning clarity with a high resolution touchscreen. Don't go anywhere, go everywhere in a great Ford Explorer. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com and then head to your local Ford store today.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. Accident victims, I understand how an accident can turn your world upside down. You're in pain. You need medical care. You can't work. You're struggling to pay your bills, and you don't have a clue what your rights are. So what do? Call the first law firm that pops up on the internet? Look for the best website? Or say, hey, find me a lawyer. The options are endless, but the answers are simple. Ask around. Read reviews and go with your gut. Great law firms build great reputations. I built Agostino & Associates one client at a time by doing the right thing for accident victims just like you. Our clients know my team cares, and we're going to fight to get you every dollar you deserve. So call me today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, and we'll come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law, bite back.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7-8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken in time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4094. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4094. That's 800-575-4094. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
How good is a perfectly cooked tomahawk steak? The Chef IQ Sense is the wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your meat. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense now and enter code word BOOMER for 15% off at chefiq.com.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to trucks and SUVs, Long Island drives Arnold Chevrolet. Located in West Babylon, Arnold Chevrolet isn't just a dealership, it's a team that's been together for decades. The same friendly salespeople, the same trusted managers. That kind of loyalty is rare, and it shows in the way they treat you. With great service, unbeatable deals, and a huge selection of Silverados, Tahoes, Trailblazers, and so many more. Arnold Chevrolet, 670 Montauk Highway, West Babylon. ArnoldAutos.com. And remember, nobody discounts like Arnold.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Give me something to believe. And it's how you call a dream.
On the Fan on this Monday morning, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Let's get back to the phones here. We'll do some NFL. There's a lot, obviously, from the weekend, a lot of different ways to go, whether it's Abdul Carter and his sensitivity on social media, Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson, your Jets and their passing game. There's a lot there from the Jets and Giants preseason game. I'll tell you, I mean, we got into the preseason the first week. To me, it was a lot more difficult getting into this one. It just was not an entertaining game at all. I mean, I watched it through 3 quarters. Once Jameis came in, I was out because there's really not much to see. But anyway, we get more into. You were into this game?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that I definitely want to react to, which we will. And maybe the first game, there's just that juice. It's the first game.
Yeah.
And after, whatever it is, 8 or 9 practices and all the stuff that we read and all the clips we see on social about those practices, nice to see, with the Jets-Packers rather than the Jets versus the Jets. But I thought there were some really important things coming out of the game. I'm looking forward to talking football later.
Training camp coverage on WFAN brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. Got to get these teams healthy going in the season. We'll see what happens. We'll do more on the NFL in a little bit. Let's get back to the phones here, talking about the baseball, both the Mets and the Yanks. Teddy is in Belrose. What's up, Ted?
Good morning, guys. I really get through to you, and I have so much on my mind. As I've been very humble the last few weeks, recovering from spinal surgery and just getting my stamina and my physical being back to where I'd like it to be. So, but thanks for a couple of moments. Sal, don't feel so bad, man. I got spanked over the weekend playing Saratoga, and look into the stats. Unfortunately, something's going on. It's not the same kind of Saratoga that we can recall from 10 to 15 years ago. Something's a little weird.
I do think that's an interesting point, because I was talking to both my buddies. Like I said, we were betting Brad and Saratoga Wills, and they usually do pretty well. And they said this year overall, it has not been pretty. So maybe there is something to that. Anyway, continue, Ted.
Something to, but anyway, I digress if I may. And by the way, BT.
Yeah.
I looked at the Yankees to make it back to the World Series, and 5-1 seems like a very salivating number, actually. I wouldn't be shocked. That's a very generous number. I know Yankee fans might be sour, but listen, they may have solidified the back end of the bullpen to the point where if the offense can just produce and do what it's got to do, take 5-1 and run with it, actually.
Well, listen, I could have saved Sal a lot of trouble. Rather than flushing money on the ponies, put a couple of hundo on the Yankees at 5-1. You got a better chance to win. I like those odds.
You're absolutely right about that.
Sounds like you
and Sal.
Teddy, you got to cut your losses while you can, man. I'm trying to help you out here. And then maybe I'd take the Mets to win the division at 5-1. I'd rather bet the Yanks to win the division than get to the World Series. Me personally,
I'd go the other way with the Yankees. I don't think they're going to win the division, and I don't even know that they're going to get to the World Series. But of the two bets, if they were similar odds, I think I'd take the long play there rather than catching the Jays being 5.5 back or whatever it is.
Go ahead, Ted.
No, exactly. Once you're in the dance, anything's possible, man. I mean, listen, Sal, I wouldn't give up on the. I wouldn't give up on the NL East right now. By the way, I told your program guy, do you realize Zach Wheeler's out indefinitely because of a blood clot?
Yes, unfortunately, did see that news. Now, look, as it pertains to baseball, that you would think would help the Mets. The Phillies not having their pitcher, but the more real issue here is that's a serious thing when somebody's dealing with a blood clot. So you hope that Zach Wheeler's going to be okay, personally, and then, of course, for his career beyond this year. I wouldn't expect him to be back at any point this year.
I agree with you. I was on blood thinners for a blood clot 10 years ago, and that's a very nervous diagnosis. So, I mean, all the best to him. But tell me something. Can we bring down some of these arms and see what they got? The kid didn't pitch a bad game the other day, McClain. 8 strikeouts, 4 walks. It looked fine. I mean,
He's got nasty movement. I mean, he could spin it, Teddy. And thank you for the call, and best of luck in your recovery there, and with the ponies, and with the Yankees, and the division, whatever other bets you make.
Teddy seems like he likes to have a lot of balls in the air with those bets there, Teddy boy. Take it easy.
Teddy, man. We respect the action. I love it. But yeah, what were we talking about?
Well, just about with the way McClain looked, and I thought he looked in control, which is the first thing that I look for in a young pitcher. Do you look in control? And he did. And then do you have the stuff that seems to match that presence? And he does, at least early on, small sample. Listen, he's a talented kid. Everybody knows that.
I love looking, though, for the presence, the feel of these young kids when they first come up. Do they look overwhelmed? Does it look like they're intimidated by the situation? And he did not. So that, to me, is the biggest test. You see these young kids come up. It could be position player, it could be pitcher, whatever it may be, and it's like, deer in headlights look. And in New York, that's rough to start like that. Mm-hmm. So he clearly did not have that, and he's thrust into a big spot here.
It was a big spot, and he seemed to process and compartmentalize all the noise well for a young kid. And that's one of the reasons why I like Schlittler right away. I don't know where it goes with Schlittler, but you throw 99 to 100, that's all great. You got good secondary, whatever. He just looked like he belonged out there.
Bingo.
Like he did, like his heart. You could tell his heart's not racing. Even the way he spoke to Susan. I remember I told you I heard the pregame with Susan, and I texted her in the car when I was driving around, whatever I was doing, and I heard Schlittler talk for the first time. Like, this young man isn't even remotely concerned about the stage he's about to step on. And, maybe McLean's the same way.
And that's what you want. If we didn't know the history and we just popped in to watch a game and you see Cam Schlittler pitching, you'd have no idea that he was a rookie.
None.
Now, McLean has only had one start, but he certainly didn't look like a rookie to me in that one
They needed that. That's a good jolt right there for the Mets. That was big.
Ray is in Waterbury. What's up, Ray?
Especially after Friday. What's up, Ray?
Guys, great show as usual. You guys are right. That kid looked like he was in control from the first pitch he threw. He struck out the first guy, and you could feel the energy, and I think that's the spark that's got us out of that slumber. Now I don't like the way Manaya's throwing. His velocity's down to 92, 93 from that sidearm. Last year it was 95. You know what? I'd bring up one of the other kids. I kind of like Tong better. I think Tong's got more of a presence because he made his first AAA start the other day, and he threw 8 innings, a 2-hit ball, struck out 8. Where Spoke takes a while. Spoke takes a while to. Every time he moves up, it takes 3 or 4 starts to get him going.
See, it seems like now.
So let's bring up one or the other.
Well, who knows, right? And thank you for the call. Who knows how these guys are going to translate to the big leagues? You don't know. Even with McLean, like it's one game. Schlittler, it's however many starts he's had here. It's a fraction of what you need to see from these guys. But there are early signs. There's certain things that you look for, BT, even in the minor leagues. Like for me, just the eye test. Watching Jonah Tong, he looks nasty to me. And I'm not saying he's going to be a lights out starter. Who I know he is a starter right now, just got moved up from AA and had a good first outing in AAA. But I look at him as a guy that you could put in a big league bullpen right now and feel confident you could get an inning or two. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's something that would be appealing to me. He just looks that nasty and that ready right now. Whereas Sproat could be maybe more of a, I don't know, and they could project him as a high-end starter, whatever. It feels like maybe less of an impact than McLean or Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that they wouldn't get the job done. I mean, really, anything that I say is just just saying something to say something, which I'd really rather not do. I haven't seen a pitch. I don't know. So I'm going to look at McLean and say, all right, he looks to fit. And the other young pitchers, if and when they come up, I'm going to kind of react to what I see from them first here. I just wanted to look, though, make sure that the caller was onto something here. All right, so I mean, is this real? Well, I mean, when you look at it, was a couple of years ago. So Manaya's fastball velo, right? Not that he was ever 95, 96, but in 2023, it was 93.6 his average fastball. Last year, 92.3. This year, it is down to 91.6, which is the lowest it's been since 2022. I mean, I don't know, was that an incredibly alarming dip? Not necessarily 92.3 to 91.6, but I guess it's something worth watching.
Yeah,
a little tick down.
The fact that Manaya at times for 3-4 inning stretches in his appearances so far this year has looked like the Manaya of old, but then he's imploding far too often. So can't have that. Put it this way, I don't think anybody can trust Manaya. It doesn't mean he can't be effective the rest of the way. I don't think you could count on him to be what maybe we were counting on him to be before he came back.
I think you have to.
I think that's a major problem.
I'm not saying that you do it blindly and say, he's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm not saying that, but what I really meant to say was Manaya's got to pitch well, otherwise the Mets are dead.
Yeah, but I
believe that. Same with Max Fried with the Yankees.
I disagree with that because here's why. If I ask you what's your confidence level, scale of 1 to 10, and David Peterson doing what he's supposed to do?
It's very high. It's my favorite.
Okay, right.
You know that.
I'll give you
8.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Same thing.
Even with the bad start, that's an anomaly. 8, I like Peterson's
Kodai
good.
Senga.
Honestly, for me, it's dropping quick.
Right.
And I know the last outing was much better. You were off. I would have liked to have seen Mendoza run him out there, or let him get that last batter, whatever. I would say right now for Senga, it is Woody brought in Rogers.
Now, remember, I'm not asking him to be a lights-out ace that's going to give you length. I'm
give you
saying
a chance to win.
To do what he is supposed to be doing.
I think I'm down to about 6 or so with him.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I take that. Maybe I go a little bit higher. McLean, confidence. I know it's one start.
I mean, how can I really? I mean, based on the one start, I'm going to say a 7.5 or so, an 8. But now you got to see now. So now, and you won't see it after 1, 2, or 3 starts, but there'll be a book out on him, and now he's got to adjust and all those baseball blah blah blahs. But I like the young man, and I can't go nuts, but I'm certainly not going to shortchange him. He'll look good.
Unknown, but the confidence level
7.5,
and it's not just on results; it's the way that he looked.
He looked like he belongs, Sal.
Correct. Okay.
Who else?
Holmes. Remember to do what he's supposed to be do. 4 innings, 5 innings. Not going to see a third time through.
I'm still going to say that has gone in the southern direction fast. 5.5.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I'd probably give maybe a 6, something like that. But you got 8, let's say 6, 7.
I mean, 6, 7 is not exactly going to give me a ton of faith.
Yeah, but I think that's better than, to me, like, you can survive. And now, by the way, those guys can outperform those numbers.
Or they can be worse. They can be fours.
My thing with Minaya is I would not put a higher number. Where would you be at with him?
Minaya right now, I still probably going to go a little higher than you, but he is now about a 7, where he was about an 8.5 or so, maybe even closer to higher than that.
I would go way lower than that. I go 4 or 5. Right? I don't know if it's the loose bodies. I don't know what's going on, but he should be building himself up to have been better by now.
Yeah, it's going the wrong direction.
And even though there were some signs, exactly.
He started off very well. Now he's a mess. But think about this. So if you're right, and I respect you going low because the last couple of starts is probably what he deserves. I'm just giving him a little more benefit of the doubt than you. But if you have him around 4, 4.5, and Holmes is about a 5, 5.5, and Senga, who you've always liked less than me, how is that great confidence that this thing's going to work out?
Because here's my scale. The expectations that I had for Minaya were to be a true ace. I don't have high expectations for Senga. I need 5, maybe 6 on a good night competitive innings. Same thing with Holmes. I need 4, maybe 5 competitive, solid innings. McLean, I'm not expecting him to be a 7, 8 inning guy, but I think he could do the job to where he could be a 6 inning solid starter. Peterson, yes, much more, give you length and be productive. Minaya went, in my mind, from being he's going to be the ace of this staff and be close, if not exactly what he was in the second half of last year. Remember, being even more fresh too.
Yeah.
Last year he got tired down the stretch. All the innings that he threw postseason, you could see he was fatigued. Coming back, not pitching the first 3+ months of the season, I had him penciled in to be the ace. So I'm like, now there's no chance he's going to be the ace, and I'm hoping to get 4 or 5 solid innings from him. That's where the drop off comes.
I'm going to push back a little bit and say there's no chance, and I'm going to tell you why real quick, even though I know we got a break here. All right. So you think about. The pitchers go to spring training, get that early, get loose, mid-February, whatever it is, right? Start ramping things up slowly, surely, get ready for opening day, blah, blah, blah. Generally, even the best of all time, go through a dead arm period right around maybe slightly past the halfway point from when they report around Valentine's before opening day. Slightly past the halfway point. Is there a chance, and maybe this is attributable to the slight decrease in velo, Minaya, who started very well and looked like Minaya, the ace of a year ago, those final 18 starts, maybe he's going through a dead arm period.
Yeah, maybe. You hope that that's the case. I worry more about the change in arm angle from a year ago and the loose bodies and the results. Like when you have those three things.
Anything else?
Those 3 things right there, enough to cause for concern. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. The city's biggest indoor pickleball event is coming back October 10th and 11th. And it will sell out. Sign up for the fun or for the cash prizes. Go to 1010wins.com/pickleball for all the info. The pickleball tournament is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Maybe do a little parlay, a little Jets and Giants futures, and a little something on pickleball.
Pickleball parlay?
Why not, man? Hey, this summer, stay cool and hydrated with the official water of Major League Baseball. Primo brands with Primo and their great water delivery service. You get premium hydration from trusted brands like Poland Springs, Pure Life, and Saratoga. Right to your door. Stock up for game day or just keep everybody refreshed and feeling good, whether it's still, sparkling, or flavored. There's something for everybody. The best part, you call the shots. So whether you need a couple of cases or a full week supply, Primo's flexible delivery fits your schedule. So step up to the plate, hydrate like a pro with Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
She was wearing a shirt that said, he's golfing. And then yesterday she put on the shirt, go ask your dad. So what I deduced from this is she wants me to stop playing so much golf and do more stuff for the kids. I'm just waiting for the next shirt. I hired a lawyer.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. College football used to be different. Every Saturday felt like life or death. One loss could end your season. Every game mattered. Now, the Big Ten is floating a 28-team playoff. No conference title games, tons of automatic bids. That kind of expansion doesn't raise the stakes, it lowers them. When everyone gets in, the regular season stops meaning everything, and that's what used to make college football special. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the sound of happy. Hear that? That's the DQ chicken strip basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ chicken strip basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Cloudy skies, high 75.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager. New Jersey and New York only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
When it comes to getting the guaranteed lowest price on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. And when it comes to getting more free services for life than anywhere else on Falcon tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So when you're in the market for the best deal on Falcon tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. And I mean absolutely nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go. Just got my car right here at Dana Ford. Just got my car right here at Dana Ford.
Adventure and excitement. Brand new 2025 Ford Bronco. Lease $289 a month, 36 months, zero security, $49.95 due at signing, with 2 years complimentary maintenance. Big selection and details at DanaFordDeals.com. Dana Ford, Staten Island. With approved credit, dealer retains Ford rebates. Expires 8/31/25.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey iHeart.
Been sitting on that, but it was a fun weekend yet again. Everybody's excited about the possibilities. Jackson Dart, maybe the Jets not so much.
That weak-ass chip. Meanwhile, he was on his behind looking up at the sky, but real weak.
Weak-ass chip. Bro, there was nothing weak about that.
No.
Like, you got blown up. Now, it happens to the best of people.
Sure.
But I thought that was a weak-ass tweet as opposed to the weak-ass chip block. Come on, you're Abdul Carter. You got to be above that. You have a bad game. Take it like a man. Sour grapes. He was ripping on the Jets and then saying that was a weak-ass chip block when he got planted.
Yeah, I know.
That was not a good look.
It's not a good look. The truth of the matter is there's always juice for the Jets and there's always juice for the Giants. There's really not a ton of, juice between the Jets and the Giants. Like, it's not like the Yankee Met thing, like when Soto's with the Yankees and then we're talking for a year, is Soto going to go to the Mets? And then of course he does. And that energy, you don't get that. That Giant Jet dynamic is very different. It's just very different. You can't compare it to the Yankees Mets, but you start, dropping comments like that. And he also said, the other thing was like, it's going to be their only highlight of the year. Yeah, like something like that. So he's leaned into it fine. It's just an odd hill to die on when he knocked you into next week.
Well, he was obviously upset about that and embarrassed by it, which is understandable. Like, nobody's going to question that. But you're going to be a great player. You're supposed to be a great player. Like, to me, I would try to be above that. Now, again, you also have to put yourself in the mindset of the young, we're 45, 46-year-old adults, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You got to put your mindset of the young kid like that, and the way that the world is with social media, he keeps seeing that, him getting blown up. And he's annoyed with it, and that's his way of, I'm sure he doesn't really feel that. He knows that that's a football play, and he got blown up, maybe to a level where he's never gotten blown up before, and was tired of the Jet fans retweeting it or saying stuff about him. So that was his punch back, and maybe that's acceptable for a younger generation. Fair enough. I'm not saying his tweet was horrible, what it did. I'm saying I think it made him look worse, as opposed to just taking the high road, being like, ooh, laugh at it. Laugh at it and say, you know what? I did get blown up. Wait till next time, I'll be prepared for it. Or when When we see them again, I'll come get him. Something like that.
Yeah, and by the way, I think that he said all the right things. I think he's going to be an absolute superstar, and I know I'm not alone there. I think he's going to be freakishly good, and he seems to be really motivated to be great. Which you could have great talent, but he seems to have both. I heard him. I was coming back from LBI on Saturday night, and we were in the car, and I was listening to the postgame with Tiki.
Okay.
Tiki and Paul Dottino and Schmelk. It was good. They sounded really good. Good job by those guys. And they clipped in something from Carter, and it wasn't about the chip lock. It was more about, he just sounded so grounded and so not interested in playing into any sort of social media nonsense, like almost like a throwback. I remember saying, I don't think my wife cared at that point, and she was driving because I had a couple of drinks and the kids were sleeping, so I was basically would have been talking to myself. But he came across a very old soul. In a good way, who's not wrapped up in what the world's saying about him on social media. So I was a little surprised. It's not a big deal, but I was a little surprised that he said that. I mean, come on, just chalk it up. You got chip locked to the ground.
That's exactly right. It wasn't the worst thing, but to take a shot at the Jets then.
Yes.
And it made him sound petty and fed into, he was upset with himself for that and embarrassed by it. And I think it made it a little bit worse. Again, it's not some indictment on Abdul Carter. I love him. You know that. We were both singing his praises and thinking I thought he was the best player in the draft. Had I had the number 1 pick and I weren't quarterback needy, I would think he's the best player in the draft. I would have taken him number 1. So the Giants got lucky to get him where they did. I'm excited to see what he could do. Go out there and get to the quarterback. But when you get beat, I think it would have gone a longer way had he laughed at it and said, "I'll get you next time, Jets." Something along those lines.
The only thing you have to wonder, and again, I am not even dropping this at the young man's doorstep. I really don't care. I mean, I find it interesting. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but I'm not trying to make his life more complicated. It's not a big deal in the grand scheme. But maybe is it a possible look into the future? Like, forget about Jets-Giants second preseason week or, August. What about if it's a Cowboys thing or an Eagles thing or a Commanders thing? Or, is that a look into him being maybe a little more honest than some people want that could at some point be detrimental to the team? I don't think so, because he seems like he's really buttoned up, but whatever.
Well, we've been down this road before. Let's use Sauce as an example, right, on social media. And that's why I'm trying to open my mind to what a 25-year-old would think versus what I think, where maybe we're more old school mentality. Is that more acceptable? And we criticize Sauce at the time for some of the stuff that he did on social media. But if that's what the young players want to do now, it's not everybody. And that's part of why they get criticized, I think. Not everybody's sitting there saying, when you get beat on a player, you get burnt or you get blown up. You know what, that was a weak-ass block or a weak-ass tackle, whatever it may be, and they'll never have another highlight again. So it was a little sour grapes there. Mm-hmm. And I forget the exact stuff with Sauce, but you know what I'm talking about over the years with him.
I do.
Are we just in a spot where, do we even need to acknowledge it? Does it really mean anything? Doesn't mean that Abdul Carter's not going to be a good player. Doesn't mean that Sauce Gardner can't be a good player. These tweets, maybe just take it for what it is. It's a post on social media. Who gives a crap?
It is a generational thing, but again, it's not like being overly boastful or leaning into a social media feud, or which a lot of younger people and some older people do as well. But to me, it's just not even an accurate depiction of what happened. That's my only thing. It's not even remote. It's the exact opposite.
Well, right, to your point, when I saw it, and I watched the game on, because I was in Saratoga. I didn't watch it till Saturday.
I watched it Sunday. I watched it Saturday night when I got home.
I watched it Sunday. Late. Yesterday, I went back and watched it. So I saw the tweet first.
Mm-hmm.
And then saw the highlight.
So did I. I saw the tweet first.
After. So when he tweeted that, I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw the play, and I was like, dude.
Not accurate, buddy.
There's nothing weak about that at all. Meet T. Sal, the Fan. NFL Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
All right, we got a lot to get to here, Sal. Obviously, the Yanks and the Mets pumping out some wins over the weekend. Good to see. We'll get to Jackson Dart. Little Manfred droppage as well with the possible or likely realignment. Yanks and Mets, that would be insane. All right, so we'll get to those calls coming up. Also, the king topic of the day. Hey, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range, and some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. So, whatever the reason, there's never been a better time to say, hey, let's take the Cadillac.
The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles, it's great. That's what I drove last year. The Lyriq. You got the Escalade IQ, the Vistic, the Optic, and the Lyriq. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off.
I like Soto. I like his attitude.
The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. 24 hours of deals on all your football season predictions. So, take a flyer on the MVP race. Can Jaden Daniels take the next step and win the award in just his second season? Can C.J. Stroud bounce back after a sophomore slump? Maybe a healthy Dak Prescott can win his first. Crown your champion in August. Will the Bills finally do it? Can the Eagles go back-to-back? Or maybe a long shot like the Bengals or Packers will win it all. Or parlay your division winner dark horses. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
U.S. Open Fan Week. Week 1 of the 3-week U.S. Open starts today through the 23rd. It's free and open to the public. Catch world-class tennis, see top stars practice, and more. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit BenzFam.com.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
At 12 o'clock, I'm Gordon Damer. The Sports Flash, sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB, Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission, and by Cars for Kids, Cars with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of changing lives. Over 1 million cars donated, more than 100,000 kids helped. Be part of the legacy. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million satisfied donors. Man, what a difference a week makes. Yanks have won 5 of 6, including a sweep of the Cardinals over the weekend. First time since May. Yankees have won back-to-back road series. They try to find themselves now just 3.5 games back, 3.5 ahead of Cleveland for the final wild card. Just a half game back of both the Red Sox and Mariners for the top wild card spot.
Look, I think we know we're a good team. We believe that. Even through some of the down times and some dark moments of the season, I don't think we've ever lost that confidence. So, look, we're capable of this. We got to go prove it, though.
Yanks off today before opening his series tomorrow against the Rays. Mets also a day off. Francisco Alvarez set for an MRI in his thumb. Mets up by a game and a half over the Reds for the final NL wild card in the National League. Fan weather sponsored by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com. It's 69 and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart and Tune.
King topic of today, and we can really combine a couple of things here, BT. We started the show talking about the Mets and how it feels to me that they've now stabilized and the worst is behind them. Now, it's going to take a lot more winning, obviously, for that to truly be the case, but an impressive series win against the Mariners, good starting pitching. The offense has been clicking now for a while, even in the losses over the course of the last week. The offense hasn't been the problem. Bullpen maybe starting to straighten it out a little bit here. Soft schedule coming up these next 6 games. Remember, I was looking at it as a 12-game sample size ahead of the big series with Philadelphia on Monday, a week from today. And of those 12, they started out 3-3. I was expecting 9 wins overall. That is still possible. I think they're going to need, if they want to be taken seriously and win the division, need to rattle off 6 in a row here against the Nats and the crappy Braves, or at the very least 5-1 over the next 6. That shouldn't be unrealistic for a team with the Mets talent. Maybe this series, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, starting to head this team in the right direction.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I see it differently in terms of the needing to sweep. And see, to me, it's more important for the Mets, like how they look. And it's going to sound like a massive contradiction. It's probably going to sound stupid, but I think you'll feel me in a minute. I'm less concerned about the wins, and that's the stupid part, than the Mets just looking more whole. Like, if the Mets beat the Nationals, I'm just throwing out some crazy scores, 9-8, 7-6. Like, all right, that means to me starting pitching, not good. Good chance if you have that kind of offensive output by the Nats, the bullpen a little leaky, and those are the things that could, and at various points this summer has sabotaged the Mets season. So what I'm saying is, like, you look at the 3 with the Nats, 3 with the Braves. I would almost prefer to go 3-3 or 4-2, but aesthetically, it look away and resemble a team and a style that is transferable to October. Like, yes, it was good that they won a couple of games this weekend. Great for McClain to jump in, and he looked completely undeterred, and that very well could be a spark that changes everything. But the Mets have been messy for months, and I can't change my opinion in one weekend.
Right, but now, if I want to win the division, and that's what the goal should be, it's their goal, it's what I want to see them do. I'm not giving up hope on that. You got to start winning the game. So I'm all for saying, well, even though the results shouldn't be the be-all, end-all. Hey, they played well but lost. And I think you could say that in a couple of these games here recently where they've actually played okay or played better than the record or the results have showed, whether it's the offense carrying them or the bullpen doing well, but maybe the starters are lacking, or the starters having a good start, but then the bullpen blowing. Like, I don't think that it's as far off as it has seemed, certainly over the course of the last week or so, to where we talked about this last week. The wretched baseball team. I'm not watching a wretched baseball team. I'm watching a team that's, finding a way to lose games, which is frustrating, but I still don't think that they're a bad baseball team. But now you need the results. With 38 games to go, they need the results to follow. We saw the results from the Yankees as well as they kind of get back to their winning ways here with a sweep of the Cardinals, who, if you watch the way that series went, it was an ugly series for both teams. Both teams not playing very clean, crisp baseball at all, as a matter of fact. But the Yankees won 3 of those games. I don't expect at this point the Yankees are going to be a clean, crisp team. They're just not. That's not how they're built. But they are built with one of the offenses, to me, that can be the most dangerous in the entire sport. How will that translate in October? That's the $1,000 question. Always is the $1 million question, whatever it may be, with the Yankees. But I at least believe that things were going to stabilize with them because of their bats, and you're starting to see that be the case now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about all the other. Yeah, I'm not talking about last year when they got to the World Series. Obviously, Soto was there, so that's different. But I think all these other years, most of the years where the Yankees came up short in the postseason, and I do think that they'll get there. I just don't think they'll win the division. The Yankees will be a playoff team, I would imagine. And if not, it better be an incredibly bloody offseason. No disrespect to those who are going to have to get fired at that point, but you're going to have to change everything. I stopped falling for the bait, man. I stopped taking it because the Yankees too often have banged a lot of home runs and have had a high OPS and have had some guys who put up big offensive numbers. But then October comes and you get a steady stream of highly capable arms starting pitching that is elite. You know, teams who are buttoned up, they catch the ball, they don't give you more than 27 outs. And, you know, I've got to see that. Now, I do think, and I always did think this as a possibility, that the 2025 Yankees could be, while less dangerous with the Soto-Judge combination, could be a little more buttoned up in terms of catching the ball. And if you get to a situation where, you know, and you should trust Goldschmidt against lefties and because he's mashed them all year, you suddenly have an outfield in October of Judge, of Grisham, of Bellinger, of Goldschmidt. Obviously, McMahon is a lead at third. It looks like Volpe has at least stabilized things for now. Jazz is fairly solid at second. Like, the Yankees should catch the baseball better. But, hey, bottom line is this. Both of these teams, to me, have a lot of problems still.
BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Adam is calling from Huntington. What's up, Adam?
Hi, how are you guys? I wanted to start off by giving a shout out to the two kids from Chaminade High School who did a great job on the Kids Cast yesterday for the Met game. Also wanted to bring up.
They were great, by the way, and the young lady as well. All three of them. I think two of them. I'll let you make the point. I think two of those. I think the young boys went to Bruce Beck's broadcasters camp. They were fantastic. Love that stuff.
Yeah, they're also part of the Chaminade Sports Broadcasting Club. They do a great job doing all the games. So they're phenomenal kids. Also wanted to bring up, you were discussing Ben Rice earlier. My son and I were looking at the statistics on him. Behind the plate, the Yankees ERA is almost a run better, and their winning percentage is 600 versus when Wells is catching, they're closer to 500.
Well, what's the difference, though?
Really
Hold on. But think about the disparity in games caught. And I don't have it in front. What's Ben Rice been behind the plate? I don't know, 15, 20 games? Maybe I'm missing a few, but it's a small sample.
It's 25 games. That's still not an insignificant amount.
No, I'm not saying it's insignificant.
Just watching him day to day. He's done a great job.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's why the Yankees love him, because the analytics say, hey, look at the win percentage, whatever it may be with him back there. That's got to be a part of it. To me, he's not a catcher. They're going to try to survive with it. I think the bigger point about the Yankees is that, remember, a couple of weeks ago, or even last week, it was questioning their playoffs. They're going to be the playoffs. Come on, man. It's not that bad. The Yankees are going to be in the playoffs. They'll hit their way there. The question is, in the playoffs, are they going to be a team that's worthy of getting to the World Series? And I don't believe they will for two reasons. Mainly because I don't think that they're going to be as buttoned up as they need to be. Although, when you start to think about it, when you get Dominguez out of left field and you get Bellinger there and you get Grisham, Bellinger, and Judge, that's a big change. There shouldn't be an issue with McMahon. Okay, he's going to make an error. Nobody's perfect. Volpe, all right, still have question marks about him, but he's certainly stabilized at the very least. Jazz, I don't love. I think he's lazy, but he's still not Glaber from a year ago. And Goldschmidt's significantly better than anything that they've had at first base. Now, could Rice, come back to bite you? Could the pitchers get in the way of that? Yeah, I think that there are too many issues to me with the Yankees' lack of fundamentally sound baseball for far too long to believe that would change in a small sample size in October, coupled with, will their offense, which I believe is elite and as dangerous as anybody else, will it be that in the postseason? And that's a huge question.
That's why I did like yesterday's win. No home runs. I mean, to me, the home runs, whether it's Volpe, try to show that he's, back on track to, when he hits home runs, not that you're going to give him back, but it's not indicative to me of a team that is a well-rounded, intelligent hitting team. I did the home runs. They're nice. You could bludgeon people, but they usually go away in October for the most part. I don't care if they hit 9 home runs, though. If Max Fried doesn't get his act together, the Yankees are dead. His ERA was 1.92 in late June. It's almost 3.5.
Yeah.
It's not 3 starts or 4 or 5. It's 10 starts.
Right.
Where his just, and I don't know that it's just the blister. To me, there was a good 3 or 4 that were spotty before the blister. So I don't know what the deal is, but without Max Fried, I think the Yankees are shot.
Yeah, and I also don't think... Now, I'll believe that Fried could get it turned around, although recent evidence would say no, but I'm still going to believe come postseason, he's got to be the ace. I mean, obviously, he's got to be. I'm not as sold on their bullpen. Bednar, yes. I mean, getting Cruz back should help. I don't love Doval. I think he's inconsistent. I don't love the rest of their bullpen the way that I do. Like if you compare it to the Mets, and I'm not trying to make it a Met Yankee thing. I'm just saying, like with the Mets bullpen, I could see a scenario in the postseason where they are locked down 7, 8, 9. Weaver's been back, which is huge for them. But even last year in the postseason, when Weaver was at his best, he still was getting hit a little bit. So I'm still iffy on trust with him. Bednar, yes, like him a lot. Maybe the other pieces, I'm not so sure if the Yankees' pen is as deep as it would need to be to make up for either the lack of fundies, lack of offense, or inconsistent starting pitching.
But they got to get the answers now. Like, I think that there's enough and Cruz, they're getting healthier. Right. They got some highly capable arms down there, but you can't go into October not knowing where Devin Williams is or not knowing where a Cruz or I think they kind of know who Leiter is. They know what he throws, the split. His profile is pretty easy to detect. But some of these new players as well, you can't be guessing and mixing and matching. I'd like to see a defined, 6, 7, 8, 9 plotted out before we get to October.
But now, see, that's my bigger issue with them is they love to mix and match. That's what they do.
Yeah, but why are they mixing and matching? Because I think I would say I know, but I don't, but I pretty much do. They're mixing and matching, not because they want to, not because they want to make their lives tougher. They're mixing and matching because they give a guy a chance. He doesn't get the job done.
I think that they play the numbers.
I'm not saying they don't, but everybody plays the numbers to an extent. I'm not saying that they don't play the numbers. Are they married? Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, we've had that conversation.
Hey, Weaver's going to be in his lane.
But if Weaver was pitching, if Devin Williams did his job, Devin Williams would be the closer, and when Luke Weaver got back and healthy and started pitching well again, I think he would have a defined role. All I'm saying is, I don't think that Boone loves saying, all right, what is this guy going to do for me tonight, taking a dart and flinging it at a board. The bottom line is, most of the Yankees relievers this year, Sal, have been very inconsistent.
Right.
What do you want them to do?
I understand that, but dude, maybe a part of that is because they're playing the percentages or not having defined roles. The bullpen itself has been inconsistent, not with just the results of moving these guys back and forth. Williams the closer, now he's not the closer. Then he's the closer again, even though Will said he shouldn't be. And now Williams, his own self.
I was going to say, why do you think he lost it? I wish the guy had 40 saves this year and it was uninterrupted. He stunk.
I understand, but I think the Yankees, they are just by the book, by the analytics, to a fault. I hope that they start to get away from that a little bit and say, here are our best 4 or 5 hitters. This is how we're putting them in the order, regardless of who we're facing. Mm-hmm. This guy is our 8th inning guy, Weaver, whatever. He's our 8th inning guy. Bednar's our 9th inning guy. That's it. I hope that we could see more defined, clear roles, regardless of what lanes present themselves.
See, I don't go by that because even take somebody like Goose Gossage now, as a million years ago, but like everybody, if you're too young to watch Goose pitch, you're like, oh, Goose was a closer 9th inning. But Goose also, which is kind of true, but Goose also came in 7th inning, 2 on, 2 out. Here comes George Brett. All right, this is the high leverage. We didn't say high leverage back then. But there were fluctuations when Goose Gossage was deployed. I think part of and I'd have to look at all their data, and I'd have to maybe do a little bit more research, but just the eye test, watching every Yankee game, part of the role allocation, for lack of a better description, is number one, most of these guys have been maddeningly inconsistent this year. And number two, there's something to be said for when you hit the button to get the guy in the game, because the specific situation that's presenting itself then might not pop back up, so you may as well fire the button now. And if it doesn't work, I don't know how you really criticize them, or at least I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do in the I'm expecting them to get to the postseason. I'm trusting the lineup to carry the bulk of the load here to get there. Once they get there, I don't know if you could see the potential. Like if the Yankees maxed out, if everything went according to plan, freed ace, bullpen lockdown,
Heel locked and load the rest of the way.
Rodon, you get the best of Rodon.
Good 3rd, 4th guy, yeah.
I mean, do you look at them then as a team that can win the World Series?
I would give them, I would feel, yes. I think, but that's not, is that going to happen? Like,
I don't know. I'm just
optimally speaking, if Max Fried was going to win the Cy Young this year, I think I'd feel a little bit different about this. He's not. If Volpe didn't struggle the way he did, I'd probably feel better. I would say that, yes, what you just presented to me, I think it would be inauthentic and just stupid of me to say I didn't think that they could win. I just don't think all those things will happen
Understood,
enough.
But that's why I still would never give up hope until it's definitive. Like, all the signs may say, I don't know. But as long as that potential is still there, what was the exact phrase, Dove, that Boone used? He said they haven't been they're not
haven't hit their apex yet, right?
Say it again.
Not a finished product.
Yeah, they're not a finished product yet. That's what Boone said before, which is crazy to think that the Yankees aren't a finished product yet, as it's 38 games or whatever it is to go. But there's truth to that. Now, is Giancarlo Stanton going to be able to be in the lineup the rest of the way?
He hasn't played in a couple of straight games.
Okay,
I mean, come
which
on.
is
So
fine.
we're going to count on him again?
Well, people are speculating. I think it's more about the outfield in St. Louis than him being hurt. But although they did say that he is not recovering.
Exactly. And they always kind of fudge the way people feel physically.
Well, what's he not recovering from?
He's an old man. He's got a 90-year-old body.
No, he looks like he's, 32 in peak physical condition.
He looks like Zeus, and he feels like a grandpa when he plays 2 games in a row.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's not like he's running around all day out there.
I know.
Not everybody. The majority of the time, he's standing there in one spot in right field.
I don't get it.
Not recovering. So maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they're not. I'm going to choose that they're not, and that they just didn't want him out there because it could have been worse for them. And now in Tampa, where it's the same dimensions as Yankee Stadium, you're going to get his bat in the lineup. Anyway, I don't know if he's going to stay healthy or not. Odds are he's not. Like, there's too many games to go and through the postseason to hope that or bet that Stanton would be healthy. But if he is, and you have Judge back in the outfield, that's another big if. Can he throw the ball? Okay, they're working his way back up. It's sooner than later they expect to see him back out there. That is kind of a different looking team where maybe they're not whole. We haven't seen the best of the Yankees yet. Judge, Grisham, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Rice behind the plate, Stanton DH, a stabilized Volpe, Jazz, and McMahon. Like, they haven't had that. Not to mention the bullpen, which is far better than anything it's been earlier in the year because, Cruz comes back healthy, whatever. Weaver's been at his best so far. You got Bednar in who could close games. Doval, even though he's inconsistent, still a good arm.
You got a speedster off the bench, which they never have anymore, Caballero.
Right.
So which I love. I love those Yankee teams that win. Not that Luis Sojo was stealing bases or Vizcaino, but they always had at least an option like a high IQ or even Andy Fox in the early Yankees that could play a few positions,
Maybe
that could
Rosario,
run a little bit.
If he could come back healthy.
Rosario, I almost forgot about him,
nice
actually.
Versatility.
I like him.
Right,
Against lefties for sure.
Could be a useful player come postseason.
Listen, the Yankees, and I think Cashman did an admirable job, very admirable, at the deadline of basically resetting in the minds of many what the Yankees could be this year when fully healthy. To Boone's point, my pushback has been you got a payroll at 310 at this point. Why'd you need 7 or 8 new bodies in the late July to that? Now that's also a separate conversation. Not even to go down that road. We know that that's like old stuff with the Yankees. But a big part of it is because Dominguez, Wells, like those guys are not what they
we
haven't
thought
gotten the
that
job
they were.
done. No, they haven't. They haven't. I guess you know what, Sal. This for me comes down to one basic thing. I have long ago divorced myself from the Yankee aura. I'm just not one of those guys, man. I enjoyed every championship. I love it. All right. They've given me great thrills this century and even going back to the last one from the mid-'90s. But that does nothing for this year. That does nothing for the way they booted the ball around all over in the World Series against the Dodgers last year. That does nothing for what happened the year before when they didn't make the playoffs. That does nothing the year before when the Astros smoked them and made them look like a JV team. So, it's almost like I've taken on this different mentality where some Yankee, and I'm not knocking, some Yankee fans still lean on that aura and that almost element of invincibility. To me, I don't know how much evidence you need that is in the rearview mirror. And until this crew, reestablishes or establishes themselves, to me, it's kind of wait and see.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get to some football stuff when we come back. Also, there's something I want to talk about with Soto and one of his, I guess, primary competition players out there that you and I have had many debates about. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Interesting that you picked
that?
this up now. I know where you go. I know how your brain works. Well, put it this way. I won't even say the name. I won't destroy the tease.
But
it's Sal.
You know the name.
No, it's Sal. Of course, I know the name. You think Sal would bring up something that I said a long time ago if it was right? Come on, I know what you're reaching for, though. We'll get to it.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up again. If your current cooling system's over 15 years old, get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call, my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts, and they have been for decades. Take it from me, you'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are true experts. Contact my friends now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
here's a high drive right field. Line drive, goodbye.
The Yankees head to Tampa to play the Rays. 7:35 tomorrow night. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all of the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
This August, Route 22 Toyota is closing out the season with end-of-summer savings. Flip your current car into a brand-new Toyota with available zero-down leases on the area's largest selection of new Toyota models. Qualified buyers can score 0% APR financing for up to 72 months on select new Toyotas. Huge savings over the life of your loan. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Route 22 Toyota has all makes and models of used cars starting under $10,000. Get them while they last. End-of-summer savings at Route 22 Toyota in Hillside, New Jersey.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Los Angeles will head south down the 5 to visit their neighbors and division rivals, San Diego. The rivalry's been heated over the past few seasons as both teams have fought their way to the playoffs. And this season is no different. The two teams match up really well against each other, and they remain within a few games of each other for the lead in their division. Who will come out of the weekend series with a win? Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong. Because right now you can get huge savings on our most popular models, including our adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid models. Or go all electric and choose from America's most awarded EV lineup like the breakthrough Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 6. So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a great deal only during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Whenever water damage strikes your home or business, call on the cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Hey guys, if you're ready to pop the big question, discover why 5 generations have purchased their diamonds from H.L. Gross Jewelers of Garden City. Since 1910, the Gross family has been the place Long Island gets engaged, and where you'll find all the latest styles and rings and a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds. Save yourself all the hassle and come to H.L. Gross, where you'll get the guaranteed best price, as well as the best education and guidance in picking out the perfect ring. H.L. Gross Jewelers, Long Island's premier bridal ring store at 840 Franklin Avenue in Garden City, or at hlgross.com.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims, the home of Yankees radio, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on The Fan. It's 12:26, Monday show flying by. 888-808-1019. Back to these calls a little bit. First up, though, time for the meat of the order for the Yankees yesterday. The Yankees bust out the broom, played well, get the sweep, 8-4 win over the Cards. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why I'm pretty excited about yesterday's win without going nuts here. Most of the damage was done bottom third. Goldschmidt dropped down in the order. He had 3 knocks. Dominguez had a couple of hits. McMahon had a hit. Caballero hit a hit. But really, if you look at the middle of the order, Rice with an 0 for Judge had the 1 hit, Belly, couple of RBIs, but no hits. So usually the meat of the order is what does it for the Yankees. They carry the mail. I think it's actually encouraging to me that they've had some more contributions from the bottom third with no home runs. So that's what happened yesterday. Meat of the order. Of course, when you're looking for the meat for your order, choose Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
There's been plenty of meat on the bone of Juan Soto, who even in a down year continues to impress. I was actually stunned by this. You know, I know the 30 homers. I know the 20 steals. We know he's been running a lot more this year with the Mets. That was a conscious thing with him. He's got such a high baseball IQ. You know, it's not like he's a speedster all of a sudden. It's not like he's become more athletic all of a sudden. He's got high baseball IQ, so he's stealing these bags off of the pitchers and reading them the right way. But the fact that Juan Soto's the first player in the big leagues, I legit had to check it twice. I'm like, this can't be right. Then went right to Ohtani and looked it up. Ohtani only has 17 steals on the year. He's got like 40-something homers, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But Soto, BT, the first player in baseball this year to have 30 homers and 20 steals. You know, we know he leads the league in walks, so we know about the high OPS. We know that it's been a down year as far as the average, 30 points off his career average. Down OPS a little bit this year as well. And down, what's the other one? Ribbies, obviously.
The Ribbies down. Ribbies definitely down.
Yeah, down with the Ribbies for Soto has been awful with runners in scoring position. Mm-hmm. But he's still having a pretty darn good year for a guy that's having a bad year. Soto's doing better than most. And one guy who you and I would always go back and forth with, and I know that you've had this thing with Soto, not saying he's a good player overall, whatever it may be.
Not just all around, just, you know, the shortcomings, which are accurate still, by the way.
Right. But, well.
No, defensively and base running, based on value.
What do you mean base running?
He's in the 1 percentile for range, and he's in the 15% for sprint speed. That's all I said. Like, he can't run. He's not a great fielder. That's all.
How could you not run but still 20 bases?
He's running off the pitcher.
Yeah. Okay, but he's
I'm saying just based on pure foot speed. No, I give him credit.
But I don't think you could say that somebody who can't, he's not fast, but you can't say he can't run when he's got 20 steals.
That goes into the IQ. IQ there. I think he's doing a very good job getting reads and gauging when he could go.
He's not,
no question.
He's not fast, but he literally can run to the tune of 20 stolen bases, which is a career high, combined with 30 home runs. Not a single player in the sport has that. Anyway, so
get to what you want to get to. Guy, you've been sitting on this for a little bit,
guys. One guy that we were fighting about was Kyle Tucker versus Juan Soto. Kyle Tucker has sucked.
What the hell was that?
He sucked so bad.
Are you insane? Lately he's been terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm saying totality.
He started out on fire.
He did.
And now he's been sucky. What are his numbers, Kyle Tucker?
You don't think I have come to the table? I got it all for you.
Yeah.
So as sucky as he's been, he's got more hits, more doubles, more triples, more steals, and a better batting average than Juan Soto.
Yeah. Okay, but you're just looking. How many homers does he have?
No. Soto has more home runs.
Well,
he's got 18.
How many?
He's got 12. So plus 18. 12 for Soto. I'm saying plus 12 for Soto.
18?
Yeah. Dude, Juan Soto's getting almost $800 million. He should be doing this. $800 million
in Wrigley Field.
Hey, by the way, Sal.
18 homers in Wrigley Field.
Well, I'm not.
And he hasn't hit one in a month.
Well, you could look at that one of two ways.
They're booing the pants off.
I know they are. All
of a sudden, Kyle Tucker. I'm just saying.
I know. He's had a very bad month, but with that bad month, by the way, they basically have the same exact WAR.
Right.
I mean, I really don't even reference WAR. For all the things I reference, I very rarely reference WAR.
Right.
Juan Soto's WAR is 4.7. Kyle Tucker's WAR is 4.2. And by the way, the most vaunted aspect all time, this is an or indisputable and undeniable transcendent talent of Juan Soto, always being on base at a historic rate. Juan Soto's on-base percentage this year is 385. Kyle Tucker's is almost 380. I mean, it's a lot closer. Tucker's been trashed for a month.
Right.
But Kyle Tucker has done things better this year than Juan Soto, and he's making peanuts compared to Juan Soto.
Okay, I don't care about the finances.
But you see, I think you have to factor in the finances.
Why? It has nothing to do with you or I.
No, I understand that. But
it has nothing to do with Steve Cohen either.
Well, but the finances on some level always are determining value of a player. I mean, think about it. If you have a kid making 1.7 before he goes to pre-R1, isn't that different than, when Nimmo signed his contract? Don't we look at Brandon Nimmo? That's the first name I pulled. A little differently when he signed that 7-year, 168, whatever it is, or 8-year, 170, whatever it is, rather than when Brandon Nimmo was making the equivalent of baseball peanuts? The answer is yes.
No, I don't.
I do.
Because it doesn't mean anything to me. I care about the production. The reason why I get on Brandon Nimmo is because of the production, not because of his contract.
I understand that, but when the production, and maybe we just see it differently, that's fine, but when the production, for me, I've always looked at it this way. When the production is not commensurate with what your contract pretty much says you should be doing, well, I always have a problem with that. So if Karl Anthony Towns comes out next year and plays awfully, or Brunson, even though he left money on the table, all right, you want max money, you want big boy money, you better play like a big boy.
But there is a difference in basketball with the salary cap, where there's not in Major League Baseball.
It's more punitive. I'm not saying it's apples to apples, of course.
If this were Pittsburgh and you signed a guy to a $500 million deal and he wasn't producing, you'd be crippled as a franchise, so that's different. With the Mets, it doesn't really matter to me. I guess my big issue is, even in a down year for Juan Soto, there's not even a chance in hell that I would take Kyle Tucker over Juan Soto. Not then, not 5 years ago, not last year, not this offseason, and certainly not now, and not even moving forward. I would want no part of Kyle Tucker as it pertains to, in comparison to Juan Soto. I don't even think it's close.
I don't know if Chicago is going to want him back. It looks like it's turning bad. Right. I mean, so when you're getting booed.
Maybe the Yankees could get him. He'd be available.
I'd love him. Now, a couple things here. Tucker is, how old's Tucker? 28? Scones, just double check. I think Kyle Tucker's 28. Soto's 26, right? What are you looking at me like that for?
Are we sure Tucker's 28?
I don't know. Tucker looks old. So does McLean. McLean looks older than I thought, too. Oh, my God. Yeah, that was...
I was getting text about that on Friday. I'm like, Tucker's 28. Tucker's 28, we think.
And the only reason I brought that up on Friday was because it was the attachment of the 15 years. And listen, maybe he probably is 26. I never said definitively he's not. I mean, people go nuts with this. I don't know. I don't know and I don't need to see his birth certificate. But the point is, I addressed that for a second because I did not mean it in a disparaging way at all. I think that if you look at the 15 years that Juan Soto has connected to his name the rest of his probably baseball career, I would probably, and I'm going to say probably rather have Tucker at 8, where he's a better athlete and does some things on a baseball diamond that I think will play longer than Soto, who I think is going to be a slower, plodding, lesser version of himself as he ages, whereas Tucker is just a little more bouncy, if you will, lack of better dynamic, I like that word. So I think that it would be better, money spent better. At their apex, Kyle Tucker can't shine Juan Soto's baseball hitting shoes.
And that
was never the point. My point was always the well-rounded nature of their games. And then for me, and you don't look at the money as much, and I get that, I do. What is Soto going to command? This is before we know what he got, the $755 for the Mets. What would Soto get? What would Tucker get? How long will the commitment be? And what's their skill set? That's why I'm going to stick with Tucker. I'm not saying he's a better hitter.
But I would say that I don't think any player ages well. So you could look at Soto or Alonso or whoever and say, well, okay, he's not athletic now, so it's going to decline sooner. But that's the great thing of having the luxury of a DH. Miguel Cabrera, he's the famous example that I would always use because he wasn't a great fielder at all, even when he was young in his early 20s, right? No. And he got fatter and softer, whatever you want to say. As he got older, it got worse. But he's still one of the all-time great offensive players, and you could have him at DH. So that's what I would do with Soto. Look at Lindor, who is as athletic and, he plays shortstop at a very high level, or at least did a year ago, stealing all these bases, hits with power. You would think, okay, well, a long-term deal for him, it's going to age better than, say, a guy like Soto or Alonso. Lindor's been rough defensively this year.
Very rough.
So already Francisco Lindor, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter the athleticism of a player or the position that they play. He's, when you get older, guys don't age well. All of a sudden, even though you would think that ages better in certain ways than maybe a slow-footed, bigger-bodied individual, I think that they all just age.
Well, everybody, sure, everybody ages, and everybody loses a little bit of a step on the fastball or an inch on the fastball. That's indisputable. But I would rather have an option. You talk about the construction of the Yankees roster. Again, this is a long way down the road here. Understandably, but first of all, Lindor didn't sign for 15 years. That's number one. So, 15 years, you're talking almost 2 decades. But at least when Lindor...
Which is absurd.
Well, that's my point.
15 years, yeah.
But when Lindor really discernibly loses burst, which I don't see yet. I know he's booted the ball. He's still an elite athlete or borderline elite. You can always punt him over to second, which at least frees up the DH spot. When you are somebody like Soto or even Judge, when he is no longer able to play right, I don't see him playing first base. Like Stanton, although I think Judge will age more gracefully than Stanton. But I don't love saying, well, he could DH. I understand that, but I want that as a last resort, not we'll just throw him there when he can't move. How many think about this? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is important about these older. This is important about Soto. Think about a guy at 26. How many players do we say that are in their mid-20s? We don't really worry about what kind of athlete they morph into because at age 25 or 26, they're an uber athlete that we think that the erosion will be slow. We're saying that about Soto now at age 26.
Well, you're saying that.
Well, but I'm not alone, and he's not a great athlete. He's in the 1 percentile in base running.
Right, but who cares?
I do.
But why?
Because he can't run.
I don't care.
I do.
He's in it. But I don't know why. But
because
why
he's not as well.
So he can't run. So Cody Bellinger can run. You'd rather have Bellinger or Juan Soto?
Now, okay, hold on.
Kyle Tucker could run. Yeah, Kyle Tucker
but hold on.
You could choose these players. I want
Bellinger for 5 years or Soto for 15? And honestly, I want Bellinger for 5.
Yeah, I'd rather have Soto.
I really would.
I'll take the better
Tucker
player
for 5
and the superstar and the all-world player than somebody.
But the all-world player's hitting 250
with 30 homers.
I understand
He's
that.
Got 30 homers and 20 steals. Nobody in the league has that. You gotta give it. Game over. There's not one player in baseball right now that has 30 home runs and 20 steals.
Yeah, I understand
not
that.
one.
I got you.
Juan Soto's the only one. Not one other player.
You see, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to give you that.
Whoa,
because that's indisputable.
I don't understand what we're disputing.
But I'm going to give you something else. There's also 200 guys in baseball who have a better batting average or runners on base.
So what?
So what?
That'll change.
When?
Yeah, eventually.
In 2026? It might.
How many World Series rings Judge have?
I'm not talking about Aaron Judge.
I am, because you could say that Aaron Judge is the greatest offensive player of all time in the regular season. I could say, well, Juan Soto did it in the postseason and has a ring. So when you say that you question his numbers with running and scoring position, which we all know have been awful, there's reason to believe it's going to get turned around because he's been one of the great players with running and scoring position in the history of the sport.
I understand that, and I give him credit there. He also had his best season with Aaron Judge behind him.
Did you
want to bring up Judge? Yes.
Oh, you said
it's the first time he had 40 home runs.
Yeah, and how many
with Judge behind him?
He might hit 40 again.
He might. Man, if he starts getting hits with guys on base, he's going to have a better season than last year. He hasn't done it yet.
Understood.
He's at 160.
He's having such an awful year, right? Soto's having such a down year. Yeah, I get it. He's still got 30 homers and 20 steals. Only player in baseball to have that right now. What a crappy year. Sign me up. Leads the league in walks. All the numbers are still as good, if not better, than the other guys. But they're not in comparison to his lofty standards.
Lofty standards?
Yeah.
His standards are lofty. But, but you make it seem like he's hitting I don't know, what's a good batting area? You make it seem like he's hitting 267 with runners in scoring position. Then I could see, it's not his lofty standard. Guy, he's the worst in baseball.
Understood. I believe it's going to change based on the fact that he's done it before.
I do too.
To me, this is a shock that he's actually been this bad.
I believe it's going to change too. But here's the thing. I don't lean on, and I'm not even saying you're leaning on it, but and he is first to 30, first to 20. I don't dispute facts. I don't dispute
But that was one of the things that you were getting on him for is that he couldn't run. He's got 20 steals.
Okay, but is he going to steal 20 next year? Is he going to steal 20 the year after that? Like, that is a flimsy thing. I don't look at Juan Soto like I look at Lindor and say, he's a 30 stolen base guy. Even Dominguez, who can't play the outfield, has got 23 steals. If he plays regularly and learns how to catch the ball in the outfield, he might be a 30 steal guy. Volpe can run. We know who can run and who can. I look at Soto running this year as kind of the outlier. I don't think he does it next year. If he does, I'd be surprised. It still wouldn't make him fast. Put it this way, it's not a tool that's been in his box ever, and I don't think it's going to be in his box that much longer.
I'll take it a step further. I don't care if he steals a single base next year.
But then you're the one who told me that he's the first one at 30 home runs and 20 steals.
Because he is, and because you care about that. I care about the offense. I care about the home runs. I care about the impact hits. That's what I expect from Juan Soto. The impact hits have not been there nearly enough because the runner's in scoring position. The home runs, the power is still there, and even in a down year, he's still getting on base at a high clip and still impacting the game. And you were focused on the steals. I'm just pointing out he's the only player in the big leagues to have 30 home runs and 20 steals right now. I don't care if he steals a base. I don't get caught up in that. I'm fine with his baseball IQ. I love it. I'm fine with him in right field. I know the deficiencies. I don't need him to be fast. I don't care about that. I'll find that elsewhere. I care about the presence, the impact that he has in that batter's box every time he steps in there, which he has, which to me, I'd value that as much as anybody in the entire sport. Whereas Kyle Tucker may be able to run a little bit. Look what's going on with him. So in Chicago, all of a sudden, Kyle Tucker started out the year like he was on fire, and now he's collapsed.
What about the 3 months that Juan Soto's done nothing? I mean, really, just
even
because
him
Juan
doing
Soto's
nothing is better than Kyle Tucker's doing nothing.
But it's not, because I just gave you 6 categories that Kyle Tucker is better than Juan Soto in: hits, doubles, triples, steals, average, and the on-base percentage, which is what's going to get Soto and some other stuff in the Hall of Fame someday, is basically a push. And I don't know what it is, but I could promise you that Kyle Tucker's not hitting 161. They could boo him. The White Sox fans could jump in Chicago and boo him. I promise you he's done a better job in the clutch than Soto this year. I can promise you that.
So then good. I hope.
And he's not getting 15 years this offseason, which is the big deterrent for me.
Why not?
Because he ain't worth it. Neither is Soto 15 years. He's worth it when he's 40.
He's worth it. Just multiple teams are going to give it to him. Multiple.
So you are what your word.
Guess what? He chose one.
But
and I think people got to get over that. I think that's where we're at.
I don't care that he's on the Mets.
Okay. Well, then good. I hope the Yankees get Kyle Tucker, and I hope that he's great for
Let me ask you a question.
I'm so happy that the Mets got Juan Soto that I don't care who signs elsewhere. I got the guy that I wanted.
No, you didn't.
And
No, you didn't. Yeah. Because he's not the guy. You got the person.
Right.
You didn't get the player that you thought you were getting yet. Now, you will eventually. Yeah. That guy will show up. Right. That guy's also hitting 160 when there's men on base.
Okay.
So he's not like... It's Juan Soto.
In a bad year, he's hitting 250 with 30 homers and 20 steals.
And he's making $800 million and making $50 million a year. He should do... Well, I got you. You don't care. But I factor that in.
What's Giancarlo Stanton making?
I wish Stanton wasn't on the team. I've said that for 5 years, dude.
Like, if you want to start going over the money, we could go over the money.
I don't have an issue going over the money. Okay. Half the Yanks are overpaid. Yeah. DJ was overpaid. Stanton's overpaid. I've said that forever.
Do you like the Max Fried signing?
Right now, I don't.
Oh, you loved it. Loved it.
Okay, but I agree. But Sal.
No, it was Plan B. It was Plan B, which was so much better than Soto. Plan B, Max Fried. He's an ace. How's that look?
The thing that I'm doing that you're not is that I'm reacting to the drop in Fried's performance. I like Plan B. Forget about Plan B. I like Fried.
Me too.
He looked like his Cy Young. He's looked awful right now. I'm saying it. His ERA is almost 3.5. You're still telling me that you think you got the Juan Soto that you thought you were getting. So that's delusion, Phil.
He
said 250.
I said I got the guy that I wanted.
I understand. But did you get the player that you wanted yet?
Juan Soto was the player that I wanted.
Guy. So if I said, Sal, if we're sitting here St. Patty's Day, Sal, he's going to be hitting 170 with runners in scoring position. Your response would be, that's the guy that I'm paying for?
No, that's awful.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, right, but that's going to change. Even you acknowledge that.
It's going to change, but it's almost September.
Okay.
It's going to change.
All it takes is 1 October.
I agree with that.
By the way, it could be a bad year. It could just be a lost year. I'll sign up for a bad year every time with 30 home runs.
I would too, where I branch.
I've seen bad years before. Carlos Beltran.
16 home runs year. I get it. Hey, listen, by the way, and I'll be fair, if I had to place money on it, I would think that Soto's going to do well in October.
Which is why
You don't hold stars down. I get that.
Right.
All I'm saying is, let's not misrepresent what the man's done so far this season. That's all I'm saying.
Kyle Tucker. Enjoy him. BT and Sal, the fan, 888-808-1. And that's just one example. 888-808-1019.
All right, Sal. This summer, hey, stay cool and hydrated with the official water of Major League Baseball Primo brands. With Primo Water Delivery, you get premium hydration from trusted brands like Poland Spring, Pure Life, and Saratoga. Right to your door. Stock up for game day or just keep everybody and everyone refreshed, whether it's still sparkling or flavored. There's something for everybody. And the best part, well, you get to call the shot. So whenever you need a case or a full week supply, Primo is there. Flexible delivery will fit your schedule. So step up to the plate, like Soto. Hydrate like a pro with Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
It's Evan and Kiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
The Red Sox are not making the playoffs despite their hotness lately. Write that down.
What, you want to bet on that?
Yeah, what do you want to bet?
I don't know, but I want to bet that because they're making the playoffs.
Okay.
Well, we'll think of something.
Loser
can't leave the room until they complete the 999 challenge.
Oh, I like that.
Listen to Evan and Kiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Michigan just got hit with fines topping $30 million for one of the worst sign-stealing scandals ever. Despite 6 Level 1 violations and clear attempts to gain an edge, Michigan keeps its 2023 national title. No postseason ban, no wins vacated. Big fines, but when it comes to on-field consequences, the Wolverines got off light. I'm Maggie Gray.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
U.S. Open Fan Week. Week 1 of the 3-week U.S. Open starts today through the 23rd. It's free and open to the public. Catch world-class tennis. See top stars practice and more. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
Dedication isn't born in the light of day. It's carved in the quiet hours before the world blinks awake. At Boar's Head, we rise with a mission to deliver craftsmanship worthy of your table. A slice of something special folded into every moment worth savoring. Because dedication means delivering only the very best. Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
Many tire dealers will sell you Falcon tires, but Town Fair Tire doesn't just sell Falcon tires, they sell them at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, they give you free services for the life of your Falcon tires. That's an unbeatable deal only Town Fair Tire can offer, because Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal, and I mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both.
Go!
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan. Presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Hey everyone, Boomer here. I had a tomahawk steak last night that was absolutely cooked to perfection. Now, you already know how it was done. With the Chef IQ Sense, the wireless thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether you're cooking on a stovetop, oven, or grill. It is built to withstand extreme heat, and the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill and even when to flip them. Order the newly released 3rd generation Chef IQ Sense right now at chefiq.com and make sure to put the code word Boomer in for 15% off.
DreamWorks Water Park is now splashier than ever. Introducing Gabby's Dollhouse Kiddie Splash Garden. Inspired by the beloved Gabby's Dollhouse series, it's a world of watery fun for little ones, filled with dancing fountains, swings, slides, sprays, and more. Time for your little ones to suit up for a cat-tastic adventure. DreamWorks Water Park is the largest indoor water park, and now the largest indoor splash pad in North America. And it's just minutes from Manhattan in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tickets at AmericanDream.com.
Whether you're heading out on a road trip or planning a weekend escape, make every mile unforgettable in a Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Edison. From sporty SUVs and timeless sedans to cutting-edge hybrids, their expert team will help you find the perfect fit. Mercedes-Benz of Edison has over 400 new and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. And with flexible lease and finance offers, getting behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz has never been easier. Mercedes-Benz of Edison, the Tri-State's premier destination for luxury driving.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Is the number to call. James is calling from West Orange, New Jersey. What's up, James?
Hey, guys. How are you? Love your show, by the way. But, I have to agree with Sal on this one entirely. First of all, my background's in numbers. I really think they're very meaningful. People say things sometimes that sound good, but they're not right. Like
Such
BT,
as?
you said he had his best season with Judge behind him. But if you look at the OPS, that was actually his 3rd best season, not even his 2nd best season. In other words, Soto is a great player. And then in terms of the fielding and the base running, you said he's in the 1 percentile or whatever.
Yeah.
WAR takes everything into account, not just the offense. Soto's having a really good offensive year, but not a great year, and yet he still has a really high WAR.
I understand that.
4.7, and the season's not over. That thing generally goes up as you go on. You hit 5, you're an all-star. You hit 6, you're an MVP-type player. He has 4.7, which means
and Kyle
he
Tucker
must
has
be running the
4.2.
bases pretty decently.
I understand that.
And fielding well, too.
I understand that. Listen, there's different numbers to latch onto. I don't really love WAR. It's a little bit too nebulous for me, quite frankly. I like something that's a little bit more direct and doesn't encompass everything. Not that I don't understand it. I just don't value it the way some others do. Listen, Juan Soto is having a down year for Juan Soto. What I did say, although he's done some things really well, and we referenced what it is this year, of course, and he very well might go bonkers the rest of the year. It wouldn't surprise me because he's Juan Soto. I do think that when you look at his, whether it's a sprint speed or a range in the outfield or an arm value, all things I'm staring at right now are incredibly lowly rated on Baseball Savant. Take it with you. I don't care. If you don't want to believe it, that's fine. All I'm saying is that Juan Soto, and every single Met fan would have to admit this, and if they don't, I don't know what to tell anybody, that when Juan Soto stepped into the batter's box on opening day, you did not think his numbers would look like this in the middle of August. And if you did, I think you're being less than truthful with yourself. That's just my opinion.
No, but I take his worst over many other people. So, it's a down year. I think we all acknowledge that. Also knowing that if they get to the postseason, all it takes is one postseason that nobody cares about. Look at what Pete Alonso did last year. Pete Alonso had an awful year as far as the impact goes.
Well, I'm with you on that.
And then he became the hero. And I trust Juan Soto more than anybody to turn it around in the postseason because I thought that's what we were getting. I'm the first one to rip Juan Soto here, period, in this town. I love him. I'm the first one to rip him after 20 games because I saw immediately he was not producing in the big spots, which is the one thing that I thought he was going to do. And that has continued all year long. How many times you got to come up with 2 guys on and fail to hit a big 3-run homer? However, in a bad year, it's not like he's got 18 home runs. He's got 30 home runs, not to mention the 20 steals. And 250 is not good, but that's not bad. For Juan Soto, it's not good. For 250 nowadays, it's like, you know what, 250 average. Like 280 is the old 320. So what do you want to say 250 is? Now, again, I'm not signing for that. I'm not making excuses for him. We all acknowledge that it's been a down year, but in a down year, to be as impactful as he has been as far as getting on base, as far as hitting with the power, as far as the steals when he's on base, like in a down year, I think you have to take that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice. You got to take it until it either changes or it doesn't. I mean, the Beltran situation, we always kind of reach for that 16 home runs his first year with the Mets, and then obviously got it going there. Now, and Beltran was a better all-around player, in my opinion. I don't even want to really debate that now, but a switch hitter, he could run whatever center field premium spot. But I think that the Soto stuff, when we say it's a down year, but it's good, or, 250, it's not terrible, it's not 220, I agree, but of all the players in baseball that we've talked about forever, not just in this town, he was positioned, and rightfully so on a lot of levels, almost like beyond that scale. Like there's the scale for most baseball players, then there's the Juan Soto scale. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't think that the Juan Soto scale is as applicable if we use it and say, well, it's a better season than most here. Like the amount of energy that was given to how all-time amazing Juan Soto is, I can't accept the same myself. I can't accept the same, it's a down year. No, you're almost not allowed to have a down year when you're thought to be that special, which is what everybody told me. He's that special.
You're not allowed to have a down year.
I mean, not when you're that special. Not when you're making that money. Now, you don't put the money in there. Cohen's got 15 bill. I got
Nobody lives up to the contract. I mean, it's very few.
Well, I mean, so far Aaron Judge has. Yeah. So far Aaron Judge has.
When he's healthy and he's played.
I mean, he's been healthy. He's missed a couple games this year.
The first year he signed the contract, he didn't play.
I understand that, but Aaron Judge has been worth pretty much every penny this year.
How's Max Fried? Is he living up to the contract?
No, I'm talking about Aaron Judge. But I think Garrett Cole up until this year has lived up to the contract.
Right now he's not pitching.
I think David Wright was living up to the contract till he hurt his back. There's different things that happen.
But you just gave me 3 examples, 2 of which you made excuses for because they were hurt. The bottom line is I don't care what happened. They didn't live up to the contract.
I think it would be better for you guys if Juan Soto was hurt, because then there would be a real excuse. He's healthy as a horse. Just ain't playing great.
Dude.
What?
That's absurd that you would even say that.
It's absurd that
the Mets
you
would
don't
be better
understand.
off that he's hurt. The guy's got 30 homers.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if Juan Soto pulled the hamstring, right?
Yeah, the Mets are going to benefit because of that?
No. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about the way his season would be perceived. If Juan Soto pulled the hamstring or quad in Port St. Lucie and it lingered into April, then you could tell he was hampered, that he was hitting 170 for the first 5 weeks, and then he willed himself to 250. That's very different than having 3 months of doing nothing, and that's what Juan Soto has done as a Met. He has had 1.5 good months.
He's done nothing.
Look at the 3 months. 3 months he's had OPS that aren't even as good as some of the players on these teams that we criticize all the time.
He's leading the big leagues in walks. Like that's
I understand that.
But that's not doing nothing. If he does nothing, then how is he the first? How is he? You just said, quote, Juan Soto's done nothing. Well, then how is it that he's the only player in Major League Baseball to have 30 home runs and 20 steals and leads the league in walks? Just throwing that on.
Has Juan Soto had a good season?
No, but
that's what I'm saying.
You said he's done nothing. That's
no. I said he's done nothing for 3 months, which is true. He's literally done nothing for 3 months now. He was a problem.
I think his season's been okay. Like it's fine for. I wouldn't say it's a bad year. I'd say it's a bad year for him. But I would take it.
I don't know. When you have an OPS of 701 in April, that's pretty. I mean, that's not good.
Okay.
I mean, when you have a 760 OPS in July, that's not good.
Right.
And that's not good for Juan Soto. It's just not really that good.
Right.
It's basically league average.
And now do June.
Well, that's why I said 3 of the 5 months have been bad, and the other 2 months are more commensurate with the player that he's been for his whole career for the most part.
I'm just not sure.
He's had a very disjointed season. You have to see that.
Disjointed season.
Yes.
I would not say disjointed season.
Well, you could pick whatever word you want. It's not consistent. Disjointed meaning down, up, down, up.
No,
down,
I think there's only one.
Or really more down, slight up, down, up. Like that's a disjointed season. That's not an even season.
Which then to me is a baseball miracle. Because if somebody could go from down, up, down, and still be the only player in the sport to accomplish something as significant as 30 homers and 20 steals, that's nothing short of a baseball miracle. I don't know how you do that.
You're also cherry picking 30-20. Let me ask you this.
It's a big deal.
Well, says who? Yeah. Is Juan Soto going to lead the league in home runs this year?
No.
Is he going to lead the league in steals this season?
No.
So what the hell does 30-20 mean?
I guess nothing.
I guess I'm not even saying nothing. I'm not even saying nothing.
I don't know what to tell you.
But now we're hanging our hats on 30-20. I've never heard of that. I've heard of 30-30. Right. I've heard of 40-40. I've heard of 50-50.
How come no?
I've never heard of 30-20.
How come no?
What are we talking NBA?
How come
30 points, 20 rebounds?
How come no other player's done it yet?
I don't know the answer to that. I really don't.
Me neither. But it's what I'm saying. It must be a baseball miracle. It means nothing.
It means nothing in the grand context of his season.
A player that hits 30 home runs and 20 home runs, 20 stolen base, it means nothing.
What it means literally.
So when he gets 10 more steals, he could get to 30-30.
Yeah, if he gets there, and he probably will. But if he's still hitting 175 with runners in scoring position, what does it mean? That's what I'm saying. That's why I use the word disjointed.
Okay.
Uneven.
Right.
Erratic.
Here's what I love about it. You wouldn't want Soto. The Yankees don't want Soto now.
I didn't say that. I didn't see, but no, that's not true to what I've said.
I thought you said you wouldn't go back and do the deal.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Right. Not for 15 years.
Right.
No. And I bet you there's Met fans who don't want him for 15 years.
And I think that they're foolish. Yeah, I don't care about the 15 years. I wanted the player. To get the play, if you wanted the player, to get him, you had to give 15 years.
Correct.
I don't think Cohen, Stearns, I don't think anybody wanted to give anybody 15 years. I don't think the Yankees wanted to give Max Fried 8 years. But to get the player, you got to give him 8 years.
Yeah, and when you get 15 years, don't deliver a season where you're hitting 175 with guys on base. Disjointed season. Despite the amazing 30-20. Let's get the bronze statue ready. Right. 30-20. I've never heard that once in my life. 30-20. Never heard it. You didn't even hear about it until you read it over the weekend.
I don't know. Just now, today, he's the only player in baseball to do it. I don't care about the steals. You do. You care more about the steals. What's Kyle Tucker done? What's he in the 18-watt club? What has he got? How many steals?
He's got basically the same WAR as Juan Soto.
But BT, you could cherry pick all the stats you want.
But that's baseball. We do cherry pick stats.
No, we're not.
Yes, we do.
I'm going based on the impact the player that he is.
But you're well, you're also ignoring the ones that don't fit what you're saying.
I'm not ignoring it. I'm saying I don't care about it.
You're minimizing them. You're glossing over them.
Which ones am I minimizing?
All the bad ones. All the ones that Kyle Tucker's doing better in, which I just told you. What? Dude, what?
You obviously have some kind of issue with Soto.
No, my issue is, I'm going to tell you, Mike, forget about Soto. My issue is with anything in life. When somebody tells me it's awesome and it's amazing and it's not, that's where I have a problem. He's been good.
Okay.
Big difference.
But yet Bellinger, you could look at his numbers and say that he's great.
When did I say that? I never said he was great.
I'm saying you love Bellinger and he's great.
Yeah,
I could literally pick any player, including Aaron Judge, and pick things apart.
Well, so can I.
Anyway. Okay, but you keep doing it with Soto.
Because he's the highest profile player here outside of Judge.
Right. Okay, so he's not living
I don't do that with Nimmo because he's an ancillary piece to the team.
But he also is not living up to the contract.
I agree.
Okay. BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. Surfside iced tea and vodka. It's made with real premium stateside vodka, real brewed tea. All the flavors are delicious. They're only 100 calories, just 2 grams of sugar, and there's no carbonation, so you could drink them all day, which is what I did Friday, Saturday at Saratoga. If you've tried the product, you know you could barely tell there's any alcohol in it. It's so good, it's dangerous. Great for golfing, by the beach, like I said, at Saratoga, at a game, sports bar, nightclub, doesn't matter. It's delicious for any occasion. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sunshine in the can, Surfside iced tea, and vodka.
Talk sports with Evan and Tiki. Afternoons from 2 to 7. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
At 103, I'm Gordon Damer. This Sports Flash sponsored by Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Also by Paramus Chevrolet. Sweep of the Cardinals. Yankees suddenly find themselves closer to the top wild card than out of the playoffs. Yanks get the day off today before opening a series against the Rays. Yanks just half a game back of both Boston and Seattle. Lead Cleveland now by 3.5.
Got a long way to go in this, and it's always really good, obviously, getting a sweep and heading into an off day. But we got to keep going, and we're not a finished product.
Mets up by a game and a half over the Reds for the final NL wild card. Francisco Alvarez set for an MRI on his injured thumb. Mets off today before opening a series against the Nationals tomorrow. From the NFL, Browns have named Joe Flacco as their starting QB. Fan weather sponsored by Cars for Kids, Cars with a K. WFAN congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of changing lives. Over 1 million cars donated, more than 100,000 kids helped. Be part of the legacy. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million satisfied donors. It's 70 and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Gordon Damer.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Together, let's drive at Paramus Chevrolet. For just $257 a month and $29.74 due at delivery, lease a brand new Equinox 4D Wagon LT with two-wheel drive for 36 months. Buying, enjoy 0.0% APR financing for well-qualified buyers. Visit ParamusChevrolet.com today.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager. New Jersey and New York only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Just got my car right here at Dana Ford. Just got my car right here at Dana Ford.
New 2025 all-electric Ford Mustang Mach-E. Lease $198 a month, 36 months, zero security, $45.98 due at signing. Or 0% APR financing up to 72 months. Big selection at DanaFordDeals.com. Dana Ford, Staten Island.
With approved credit, dealer retains Ford rebates. Expires 8/31/25.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's back on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We'll get back to the calls in a little bit. I know everybody wants to get in on the Soto stuff now. Somehow, I don't even know what we're arguing at this point as it pertains to Juan Soto.
I don't know either, man.
Let's get into some of the football over the weekend because we've been teasing it long enough.
Yeah.
So the big takeaway that I had, and I'd be curious to get your take because we talked about it a little bit but not really diving into it, was it seems to now start to be the groundswell that fans are going to be calling for Jackson Dart already to be the starter of this team. To the point where after preseason game number 2, Brian Daboll has to answer a question and say Russell Wilson's our starter. Guys, timeout. Please. There's a plan in place. It's actually a good one. They have a young quarterback that's showing some great signs early on in limited preseason action. Can we all calm down before we put the gold jacket on Jackson Dart? Let the plan play out. Let Daboll and Shane do what they got to do. Let Russell Wilson go out there and guide this team this year, and then we'll worry about Jackson Dart.
I'm with you. I'm good because I don't want to yell it on the 20 straight this, but I literally do agree with you on this one. I mean, the thing about Brian Daboll is, and we really haven't seen him have a chance to do this outside of year 1 with Daniel Jones where it actually worked. He came here with a reputation. Quarterback whisper is ridiculous. Right. I never use that because nobody is one. But as a guy who has an offensive background and is going to be able to elevate the quarterback position, which he clearly did for now. Josh Allen's just immensely gifted, so how much credit he gets in doing that, I don't know. I can't quantify it. But you got to let him do what he was brought here to do. And part of that is knowing when it's time to hit the gas with Jackson Dart and tap the brakes. And I'm not hitting the gas right now. I know Giant fans are so desperate to become relevant again, and with your pass rush. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Russell Wilson himself is playing pretty decent football.
Right.
It's not like he's playing like trash where it's like, see, that's the other thing, too. If Wilson was awful and Dart was flashing, I think it's a better conversation. Still not one that I would engage in yet. But I think the longer this goes and the less that Jackson Dart plays, Sal, for his development and for the long-range development of the New York Giants, I believe that that's actually a good thing for Dart.
This is always going to be a thing. You knew this coming in anyway, that it was going to be somewhat of a talking point, although I did think that Giant fans would lay off knowing that Dart is the future. Like, this is the nice plan. You have Russell Wilson. If Jameis Winston were the starting quarterback, different story. If it were any other situation other than what the Giants clearly set up, like they actually structured this. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm using common sense. They structured it so that you shouldn't be saying Jackson Dart to start. Like the way that it's structured with Russell Wilson, with Jameis Winston, clearly, now he could be the backup, whatever, and I don't even think that they're going to go that way, but clearly it's Russell Wilson's team. They're going to have Dart learn along the way. Maybe you get him in for a play or two throughout the course. I have no idea. But if there's an injury, I don't think they're going to hand the reins over to Jackson Dart yet. When they do, it's going to be his team for good. Whether that's week 12 if they're losing, whether it's next year week 1, that's the right way to do it. They're finally doing things the right way, and because of a couple of successful preseason games, which, yeah, he looked good in, now like we talk about with rookie pitchers or whatever it may be in baseball, yeah, you want to see that presence from the young quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
He's got that. He's got that attitude, that confidence. Okay, great. There's a long way to go. He's playing against scrubs that are not going to be in the NFL.
And he's also playing against defenses that are very vanilla. They don't want to put a whole lot on film, so there's nothing exotic. They're not really trying to trick you. It's just trying to get some reps and get used to getting hit here a little bit. The one thing that I love that Dable did, and honestly, I didn't know what the hell was going on. When I'm watching this, when Russell Wilson gets pulled, Jackson Dart goes in, throws a 30-yard screen pass, which I know, 30-yard screen pass, but his arm angle and the way he released the ball was actually pretty impressive, even though it was a fairly benign throw. I think that is all part of the plan, and if you go back, and we have the transcript here, when he was asked about this, his question was, what was that when you put him on the field for the one play? And here's Dable's response, quote, "You never know when you're going to have to go in. So just part of the multiple things we've done with a young quarterback in years past where I was before, that it'll be good for him for a play to jump in there and not know that he's going in." And he didn't know it. He threw a screen that went for 30, blah, blah, blah. He then went on to say, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell the coaches. I didn't tell anybody. So what he's looking to see is how mentally in tune is the young man. You know, if you're a backup, and right now you're the third behind Winston, you know, even though we could debate whether that should be true, but right now he's number 3.
And maybe that does change. I don't know, but I would doubt it.
That could change, but I don't even want to veer off there yet because we'll have plenty of time for that. I think what is very reassuring that the Giants picked the right guy, aside from the obvious physical traits, is that it would be very easy for a rookie who knows he's not playing early in the game because it's the starter show and in preseason. Like, I'm not saying he's playing tic-tac-toe or looking at his phone.
Eating a hot dog on the sideline.
Like my guy Sanchez in Oakland. No, he's not doing that either. But to be hey, Dart, let's go. You're in. Like, immediately know the play, process fast, 30 yards, bang, you're out. I thought that speaks volumes about where the young man's maturity is.
Agreed. What you love. Hey, it's almost like we've ripped the Giants for how many years? They can't get this right. They can't get that right. Can't get this right. Right now, the way the draft went, they got by many people's accounts, including both of us.
Oh, yeah.
That they get the best player in the draft with Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
And then they were able to come back and get the quarterback that they wanted. I didn't necessarily care which one it was. I wanted them to get the quarterback. And they had to identify the right one, and then they have to develop them. And I like the structure in place with a starting quarterback this year. And by the way, to your point, Russell Wilson has looked better than I thought. Still throwing that deep ball extremely well.
That was pretty.
He was, at his peak, he was still, to me, one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the league. As recently,
I thought at one point, talking about his apex, I thought he elevated where I thought I think he was a little slow because he was a middle round pick. I thought in real time that he eventually got to a point. Remember, they were always on prime time. I thought he was getting the national love that he deserved and earned at that point.
I think more toward the end, maybe, of Seattle, where I'm watching him, some of these are thinking, God, this guy
was so
is
good,
still
man.
just...
I know.
He throws that deep ball with accuracy. Now, he's going to make some mistakes. He's not the runner that he was.
No, not at all.
Maybe a little corny at times, whatever, if that's your thing. Okay,
very corny.
Okay, fair enough. But I still like the plan in place to where you just don't throw the young kid to the wolves. I like the structure. Give it some time. Just wait a little bit. So Shane executing the draft well, getting their guy. Really, Mara as well, being disciplined to stick with Shane and Dable, having them see it through. Let them draft their guy, have the plan in place to go out there and try to win some games. Now, the results have to follow. And if they don't, the good thing is, okay, now at least we have the hope of the future with Jackson Dart being the guy. So it's set up nicely for a change going into the year.
Yeah, I'm happy that you bring up Mara because I was just going to do the same thing. You beat me to it like that. That is a part of the evaluation. Mara's been knocked around a lot. And by the way, rightfully so. He's come across as, I won't say heavy-handed. I think behind the scenes, a little maybe too influential, maybe a little petulant with certain things, and the Giants have never been that organization. That's always been the Jets' MO. But I think the Giants kind of got away from the stability of what made them the Giants, quite one of the really secure teams in our city, along with the Yankees for the most part over all these years, and the Rangers to a lesser extent maybe. But I think that, and I can't prove it, but I just think that there was an either spoken, I don't even think unspoken, I think spoken. Hey, find the quarterback that you want, and you're not on the clock to win right away. That's what we all thought, because if that assurance or if that intimation was not made, I think it would probably play out very differently this year for Dable and Shane trying to save their behinds, but I think that would have been destructive. I feel like the Jets are on the Giants are on the right path. I really do. It just seems like it's lining up for the first time in a while. You?
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're kind of lining up a little bit here.
I don't know what's going to happen the results-wise, but I'm happy with where they're at right now. We'll do more Jets tomorrow. NFL Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. Back to the phones. The baseball stuff was hot with Soto and Tucker, whatever else. Nick is in Old Bridge. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, guys? I could have listened to that back and forth, the Soto talk all day. That was great radio. I thought the original argument was Tucker versus Soto. Like, would you sign Tucker to a similar contract? I'm a Cubs fan, so I have a little say here. Okay. We didn't trade our best prospect, who's a right fielder, because we're letting him walk. I don't think we're going to put up the 650. I wouldn't either. But for someone like Soto, I'm 100% paying for 35, 102, 281 for 162 game average. At 26 years old, he's done it for 8 seasons. I will put up the years and the money for Soto. Kyle Tucker, a little injury prone, couple years older. I'm down to let him walk.
Well, think about this there, Nick. Thanks for the call there, buddy. Yeah, it did start as the Tucker Soto thing, but as you know by now, with Sal and I, it could usually morph into 3 or 4 other things, which was wild. If you guys missed a free Odyssey app, it was good. So I think the difference, I've always said this about Juan Soto, and this does not remotely apply to Tucker, even though I know Tucker's probably better at more things on the diamond than Soto, but Soto's box office, and you can justify paying Soto what he's getting because there's a reason why the Mets are going to set an all-time attendance mark. And, you know, everybody's got the Alonso jersey and everybody's seen Lindor. Doesn't mean you don't love those guys, respect them. Same with DeGrom back in the day and David Wright and so on and so forth. But there's a different aura and there's a different level of electricity in terms of star power on the marquee that comes with Juan Soto. That certainly doesn't come with Kyle Tucker. He'll make you better. He'll make you more athletic. He's a good stick in Yankee Stadium with 314 as a lefty. But you're going to watch Judge. I don't know that you're reaching into your pocket just to go and buy a ticket for Tucker.
Which is also why I think for the Mets, it was worth the 15 years, $765 million, despite what any fans or anybody else says. By the way, Kyle Tucker, second half, he's hitting a $190, 596 OPS, 2 doubles, 1 home run, 6 RBI.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened to him. I really don't. I haven't followed him as closely, but I know he's been on a miserable run.
I mean, has Soto even had we're talking about second half. Has Soto had a weak stretch as bad as that?
He has.
Come on, man.
Don't
bad?
pull me back. A week? Yeah.
596 OPS, a $190 average. I mean, maybe
even Judge has had a week where he's had a sub. I mean, but I get your
second
point.
Half. I mean, that is.
Wait, hold on. So give me the numbers for the
second half for Kyle Tucker. I don't have the game.
I'm going to pull something up as well, just out of curiosity. Second half is what?
190 batting average.
Okay.
596 OPS. 2 doubles, 1 home run, 6 ribbies.
Yeah, it's so bad. You almost have to. I'm trying to make an excuse for the guy just to fit my narrative because I do think Soto's a better hitter. I just think Tucker's a better all-around player. But Tucker's not worth that money, so I'm not just trying to, fit what I'm saying. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know how you go from being an elite player, and he's, I'm not saying he's top 5, but he's been top 15 player in the game for a couple of years now, all encompassing. How the hell do you drop to that? In March, in April, March 31 at bat, OPS 1100. In March, in April 880. In June 980. Then he goes to 675 and 410.
He had a massive start.
He's got to be hurt.
His start was incredible. Joanne in Manhattan's been holding a while. Wants to talk about Jackson Dart. What's up, Joanne?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. You should be more passionate about how you talk. You just don't have that passion in you anymore. I'm only kidding. You're Italian like I am. Anyway.
I was like, there's no way she's serious here, is she? But we appreciate that, Joanne. What's on your mind?
Long time and rooter of the New York Giants, and I think there's hope ahead of us now with Mr. Jackson, both on and off the field. I think he could probably be the second Ole Miss quarterback to bring the Giants to 2 Super Bowls. What do you think about that?
Hey, listen, see, this is where I worry. And Joanne, thanks for the call. Of course, Eli is an all-time great. In a lot of ways, you almost kind of wish, even though it's been a couple of years since Eli's obviously played, you almost wish maybe Eli was further in the rearview mirror. Like, I think...
Or if he went to a different school.
I think that Jackson Dart has the chops to handle New York. I don't think he's going to be fat. I think he's going to lean into it in a good way. And he's going to have a bit of an aura around him. But to throw the Eli stuff, he's going to be a different player. He's a better athlete than Eli. Eli had a Jedi-like brain, kind of like Peyton. It's a little bit early for the Eli stuff.
I wanted you to answer Joanne first because I didn't want to have to hurt her there. I heard the same calls on the overnight after a few preseason games about Daniel Jones. Tom Brady this, Eli Manning that.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it sounds as if I am being negative towards Jackson Dart. I am not. All I am simply saying is it's early. It's extremely early. Way, 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 way too soon to be talking about Jackson Dart and Eli Manning and Super Bowls. I'm happy with the selection. I am very happy and excited with where the Giants are at.
Yep.
Like, there's many steps to go before we get to that level.
But that's what happens when you're desperate. You almost, even though, like, intellectually from a sports debate perspective,
right,
we all know there's 5 or 6 or number 1, when does he actually play? Number 2, how does he look? Number 3, does he hold on to the job? Number 4, what ceiling does he flash early? What floor? Like, there's a lot of is he healthy? Is he durable? Does he process? Like, God, we got a long way to go. But when things are down, don't we just kind of microwave it? We always tend to just do the same with Julius Randle and the Knicks. Like, we just go from A to Z because we're desperate.
But to be fair, it's not just out of desperation. It's also we are seeing real reason to believe and have hope.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't go there if he was 1 for 9. We would be saying they drafted the wrong guy. We'd go the other direction.
Correct. This guy sucks. He's a bust. I do think that you could detect that sooner than you can superstardom. If he went out there and looked overmatched, deer in headlights, overwhelmed, I'd be like, uh-oh. I'm not sure if he's got it. And now that wouldn't be the right thing either, but I feel like you could see that a little bit sooner than you can, well, he's going to be a star. So what I would say is if it's the very first checkpoint, like let's just see what the kid's got in real game action. You saw it week 1. Boom, check. Not only the skill set, I'm talking about like the presence, the attitude, all that stuff. Then this week, you mentioned the most impressive thing was Dable just throwing him out there without him answered the bell. Goes out, not just the result of the play, but the fact that he wasn't out there like, oh, crap, what do I do? Or I'm throwing for a loop. Calm, composure, arm angle, whatever, all that stuff. These are like, but infancy checkpoints here in a marathon.
A good way to put it. And Dable's not a dummy. I mean,
exactly. That's what
I don't think that Dable would have thrust him into that one snap situation and go right back to Russell Wilson if there wasn't enough evidence that Dable has seen, maybe that we haven't because he's on the practice field every day. We only saw the game prior to this Jet game from a Giants perspective. I think that he knew that Dart would respond well to that. And he's like, you know what? This will be just another little teeny tiny acceleration of the young man's development because I know he's going to be ready to go.
And he also knows how to develop a quarterback. I mean, he should, or he certainly has a better idea than anybody else does that's saying, hey, is Dart going to start? Like, come on, man.
But I could see the questions. It's not an unfair. It's not
now.
You think it's an unfair question?
To say is there going to be a competition?
I don't think it's unfair. Well, listen, we understand the motivation to the questions, and it's to get a story. We get that. Just like some of the conversations we have, we know will be juicier than others. That's a business. We get it.
And that's one of them.
Yeah, we're not knocking it. But I don't listen. If Eli was 30 years old and Dart was here, then it'd be like, what are we talking about, man? Russell Wilson hasn't taken a meaningful snap for the Giants. Jameis Winston very well might not be on the team if he gets cut at some point. So, again, I don't know that I would ask that question, but I don't think it's too cavalier to at least I could straddle the fence on this. It's a little early, understood, but we know how it is, man. We're desperate for quarterback play. You knew that question was coming.
More of your calls when we come back. We'll keep it going with the Soto Tucker stuff. We'll do, obviously, the Giants, whatever it is that's on your mind. Yankees, Mets, 888-808-1019, the number to call. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. It's great. The blazer's sharp, wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
Here's a high drive right field. Line drive, goodbye.
The Yankees head to Tampa to play the Rays. 7:35 tomorrow night. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all of the action. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Dead Day here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM network. I'm taking the first 5 over 3.5 in the Blue Jays Pirates matchup. Hear me out. I know Paul Skeens is on the mound, but this is a contrarian play. BetMGM currently says 88% of the public are taking the first 5 under. I like people. I hate the public. So I'm going to fade them. I'm taking the first 5 over 3.5 at plus 300. I'm Dead Day from the BetMGM network. Bet smarter and beat the book. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Build monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This summer, stay cool and hydrated with the official water of Major League Baseball, Primo Brands. With Primo Brands water delivery, you get premium hydration from trusted brands like Poland Spring, Pure Life, and Saratoga, delivered right to your door. Stock up for the game or just keep everyone refreshed. Still, sparkling or flavored, there's something for everyone. And the best part, you call the shots. Whether you need a few cases or a few weeks supply, Primo's flexible delivery fits your schedule. So step up to the plate, hydrate like a pro with Primo Brands, the official water sponsor of MLB. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh my God.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on The Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real fruit tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Visit T. Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Town Fair Tire is Connecticut's largest name brand discount tire dealer. We give you the guaranteed lowest prices on all name brand tires and honor all manufacturers' rebates. We even honor our competitors' rebates. With over 100 stores from Connecticut through New England and an inventory of over 600,000 tires, you'll always get the right tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Hi, we're Wren Kitchens. In our 50-year history, we've made and installed millions of quality kitchens, and now you can find us at the Home Depot across the tri-state area. With thousands of styles and colors to choose from, we offer a free home measurement service and expert design consultation. All of our kitchens are made in the U.S. and delivered directly to you and installed by our specialist fitters. We cut out the middleman to save you money. And with our flexible financing, you can spread the cost over 7 years. Come down to Wren Kitchens at the Home Depot now. Finance subject to credit approval. Offers may change. See website for more details.
Hey, Yankees fans, come to Yankee Stadium on Thursday, August 21st, when the Yankees host the Boston Red Sox for a very special Yankee Stadium giveaway. It's Seinfeld night, and the first 18,000 guests receive a special George Costanza sleeping under his desk bobblehead, courtesy of Delta Airlines. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss out on Seinfeld night and the George Costanza sleeping under his desk bobblehead, when the Yankees and Red Sox battle on Thursday, August 21st. Visit Yankees.com/tickets.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on the Fan with this Monday afternoon, 888-808-1019. Busy week here. Thursday morning, we'll be playing golf with the big guy. You've been hitting the links. I have not done so yet. I still have not swung a club since last year with Mike, as a matter of fact.
Got out yesterday, played 12, lightning came, didn't want to mess around with that.
Okay. Not good. Yeah, you're worried about it. I'm more worried about, like, oh, crap, what am I going to wear?
What are you going to wear?
Getting out of there.
What's the options besides a golf shirt and shorts?
Well, I mean, I did lose a significant amount of money over the course of the weekend. I also gained a significant amount of poundage over the weekend, with the surf sides and food and all that stuff. So, got to make sure that there's a shirt that fits me well. I don't want to be going to look, be taking a picture or two.
I get it. So. JJ was texting me over the weekend. He was, because when I was off last week, I was in LBI. I was playing some golf courses. And one of the courses I played, Ron Jaworski has a course called Blue Heron, pretty good, and LBI National, which is gorgeous. And JJ's there with the family, and he's like, hey, he's looking forward to us getting out Thursday. He's like, by the way, I'm getting ready to get out soon. He's like, I'm playing this course called LBI National. I'm like, I was just there. I played it.
Wow.
I'm like, it's tough, man. You better bring some extra. He texted me after. He's like, dude, back nine was absolutely brutal.
He is a lefty golfer, by the way, so you're going to see what you used to be. Obviously, you're converted now. Either way. All right, BT, it's
He's
Sal.
lefty?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
888-808-1019 is the number to call. I don't know if he's lefty in everything, but he's definitely a lefty golfer.
Okay.
Sonny's in Malvern. What's up, Sonny?
Hello.
BT, did you eat the chicken or the egg in LBI for breakfast?
No, I did not. I was too hungover from the night before escapades by the fire pit. I just stuck down a bottle of water, 2 Advil, and I went right to the golf course, if you want to know and a banana maybe. That's it.
All right, you know the place, though, right?
Well, no. My buddies went there. I did not go. They got up early. I slept in.
All right. I gotcha. Question before the Jackson Dart response. Russell Wilson, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yes?
I think he should be. Sal?
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's borderline, but I have no problem with him getting in. I think he is.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to compare it in my mind to Eli. And I think Eli is because of his 2 Super Bowl runs.
Yeah.
I think Russell Wilson, with the Super Bowl win and his sustained run, I think he's a Hall of Fame.
Now, Sonny, here's the interesting thing. Sonny, hold on. So we all think that he's probably going to get in. And not to drudge up the old Eli stuff, because Eli's obviously going to get in. But my pushback on Eli as a first round or first ballot QB was like, was Eli ever one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, from week 1 through week 16, 17, or 18? And my answer was always no. But there were a couple of years where Russell Wilson actually was that guy.
Yeah, but he never won the MVP though.
Well, that's kind of my point, Sonny. Why I was hesitant to answer right away. Like, okay, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson. Like, it's just every good quarterback's a Hall of Famer all of a sudden. Like, in my mind, that's why I was saying I think Russell Wilson's underrated. When you talk about Hall of Fame, as it pertains to who gets in or who will, I do believe he's going to get in. But if you want to actually do some work and trim it down to a level of just all-time elite level quarterback, like obviously Russell Wilson to me is not on the level of Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but neither is Eli Manning, although Eli beat Tom Brady twice. So I don't know. Yeah, the answer is yes, but I still think there's different levels of Hall of Fame.
10 Pro Bowls.
I think Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. We talked about that, and he obviously lost the Super Bowl. So,
MVP.
Yeah.
I like Matt.
Yes. As far as Jackson Dart, listen, Sal, I agree with you. Listen, they have a plan. But listen, all plans go according to script. If Russell Wilson, listen, he was a great quarterback, but he's 37 years old, I think. If he has a terrible, say, 3-game span, first 3 games of the season, and the Giants are 0-3, and they think Jackson Dart is ready, there's no reason not to put him in. Look at Bo Nix last year. Look at Jaden Daniels last year. There's no reason not to put him in. And now, if he's not ready, if they think he's not ready and Wilson is playing bad, they go to Jameis Winston. I have no issue with that. But if he's ready, and all indications show that he is, I mean, I have no problem putting him in the 4th game of the season, guys.
But there's
I don't
no
think
way.
that's too early at all.
See, to me, Sonny, it is, and thank you for the call. I understand what you're saying. Being ready is ready, whether it's week 12, whether it's next year, whether it's week 4. But you never truly know how ready somebody is if you're talking about week 4 in his first season in the NFL. They could think that he's ready, but why not just wait longer and make sure that he's ready in New York with the expectations, with all the hype? If I'm Dable and the Giants, and I think this is what they're going to do, which is why I love it, I am making sure that when I go to him, I know he's the guy. Not a repeat of Daniel Jones, not anything else that we've seen with the Jets going to these younger quarterbacks. I'm making sure that I know he's the guy. Meaning that when he's ready, I'm going to wait even longer, like a hamstring injury. You're ready? Give it another couple of weeks. That's what I would do with Jackson Dart or any rookie.
I've got immense confidence that the Giants are going to handle this the right way. I really do. And I think part of the reason why it's going to be easier, let's say if Russ was still in Seattle and Jackson Dart was drafted by Seattle, it's a different dynamic. Right. At this point, Russ, unless he's just completely obtuse to the writing on the wall, I mean, teams are getting rid of him by the year at this point. He's kind of transient. He's on the back end of a career. I would think, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't be gracious at all, even in the previous situation that I described, like if he was still in Seattle. But now his football fallibility is very clear. All right, the Steelers didn't want you. The Broncos didn't want you. Seattle said, we're good with you. This is now Team 4. And I think that he's going to be very good to Jackson Dart, and I think it's going to really help Jackson Dart.
Matt is calling from Staten Island about the baseball stuff. What's up, Matt?
What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm a big fan of the show. Only my second time calling in. Last time I called in, I thought Aaron Rodgers should have played in the preseason, and we all know how that went game 1 for the Jets. So quick, on the 30-20 thing, I know you guys want to put it to bed a little bit. It's not the best point out there, but as a Yankee fan, I'm actually really enjoying seeing Juan Soto turn it back on. I would love to see both teams in the playoffs. But I do think the 30-20 thing is ridiculous. Of the 25 players in the league with 20 stolen bases, he is 19th in batting average. Just of the guys with the 20 stolen bases out of those 25 guys.
Yeah, how many homers they have? You're cherry picking a stat that's not favorable, and nobody's talking about.
Right.
Okay, but nobody's talking about that. We're talking about there's only one player in Major League Baseball to hit the 30 home runs, 20 steal mark right now. Only 4 players in the whole sport did it last year. Now, you can say, well, I don't care about that. And I could say that I personally don't care about that. I'm on record to say I don't care if Juan Soto never steals a base again. But it is something that has been a value to his game in an otherwise down year. When he gets on first base, which he does quite a bit because he leads the league in walks, he could turn that into a getting in scoring position for Pete Alonso, who, by the way, not a coincidence, leads the league in ribbies, or he's right there, whatever. I don't know where we are exactly.
He's over 100
at this moment.
Sure.
So like, there is something to it. And the fact that only 4 players in the whole sport did it last year, I mean, it's just saying that it's not a frequent occurrence. It shouldn't be minimized. How you want to value it is up to the individual, but it is something that is an accomplishment for a player.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not. It's just like, I would say Carl Anthony Towns, but he does this. Or I would say, like, to me, like if you told me that, I don't know, it's not a good comparison, but it's the first thing. Like Patrick Ewing was the first big man to have X amount of threes and what. That's that. But some other areas were like his rebounds were down or his points per game were down. It's not ignoring the fact that Soto has shown a diverse portfolio this year. I'm not pushing back on that at all. There's been years. I remember Paul O'Neill stole 20-something bases. Like, I love the aptitude of it. And the Mets' first base coach is really the guy who deserves all the credit. Like, you listen, Gelbs has done stories on this, and they talk about this in the booth. He is so meticulous. What's his name? Not Robinson. I'm forgetting his name right now. Where that's a real asset. And Soto's been very good with that. I'm not trying to take it away. All I'm saying, listen, if Soto was 30-20 and he was hitting 285, I'd be sitting here saying I should be the MVP.
You see, I don't care about the batting average. What I would say is that I would rather take those 20 stolen bases and turn them into ribbies.
Yeah.
That's what I would want from Soto. All that's missing to me this year, the
clutch.
That's it.
Yeah. But that's why the batting average is down. If the clutch was usually where it is.
Up, but it's still going to be up. You're talking about he's 30 points off his career high. All right, 30 points could be significant. If he were hitting 270, would it be a big deal? Probably not. I care about the fact that of all his 30 home runs, not one has been a 3-run homer. I care about the fact that statistically he is the worst player with runners in scoring position. The reason why I'm not overly concerned is because I believe that is going to change, hopefully in October, but eventually that will change because that's why I wanted him in the first place. So that's the one thing that is lacking to me. You could talk about the down average, some of the other stuff. The one thing that is left to be accomplished with Soto is his impact in big moments, in particular with runners in scoring position. Once that happens, that can put this to bed, and then it'll be, okay, well, how many championships is he going to deliver throughout the course of his contract? Then how is he going to age? How is he going to produce from age 27, 28, 29, 30, 31? I mean, he's 26 years old.
God.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 26. So, I hear you.
Now, I'm going to assume that that's legit, and if that's the case,
it's got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I get it, dude.
Usually players start declining. All right, you want to say 29, 30, 31?
I don't think anymore. I think that was more the old days.
No, I don't know. Well,
I think the prime's been extended.
The more old days were with the PED, so who the hell could tell?
No, but I mean, like, you go back to, that was completely
guys getting better at 35, 37.
I mean the era before that.
Yeah, okay.
Like the Jack Clarks, like guys like that.
So what's the norm? You start going, 34, you start to decline?
Yeah, I've always thought, now I think that this has changed because baseball players like Soto coming up at 19, some others, I think that players are more equipped to be in the bigs younger, like they just need less seasoning. So I think, like, I used to look at a player's prime in baseball from like 27 to 32.
Okay.
I think now it's probably more along the lines of 24 or 25 to about 33. I think it's been I think it comes earlier, and I think it's been extended a little bit.
Right, so we'll see what his is. Yeah. And either way, let's say you get 7 more prime years from Juan Soto.
Mm-hmm.
You still got 8 more on the other side of that. Now, maybe there's more. Maybe even Soto in his decline. You would think the one skill that is transferable through age would be the eyes and the ability to control the strike zone. And that's his greatest strength. The presence maybe falls off where the power starts to fall off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he's not going to be stealing 20 bases. He might not steal it next year. Might not steal it ever again because he's never done it before.
Maybe go 40-30 next year. 50-40. Maybe you can pull Steph Curry and go 50-40-40.
30-30 this year wouldn't be bad. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019.
All right, Sal. Hey, on Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel's Futures Day, a new holiday. New holiday for football fans. 24 hours of deals on all your favorite aspects of football season, predictions, so maybe take a flyer on the MVP race. Can Jaden Daniels take the next step and win the award in just year number 2? How about C.J. Stroud bouncing back after a rough sophomore slump? Maybe a healthy Dak Prescott can win his first. I don't know if I'd put money on that. I don't know what they said. Dallas between Parsons saying, get me out of here, Dak never winning enough. I don't know what Dallas going to do. Anyway, what about the Bills maybe finally taking that big step and actually cracking through and getting the championship, or the Eagles going a little back-to-back, or a long shot like the Bengals or how about some Jets and Giants stuff here? The Bengals or Packers to win it all. Either way, parlay your division winner dark horses. Have a little fun. Mark the calendar. The holidays coming up. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start playing your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day only. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. So FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel's the official partner of us here at WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. For help with the gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan 101.9 FM.
As a manager, getting to know his potential closer, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get the first crack at it. He let this guy go out and finish the job, and I'm telling you, that type of stuff the team can build off of.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The NFL quarterback battles this camp have been fun, but some of them are getting ridiculous. Enough of the drama in Cleveland. Just give Joe Flacco the job. New Orleans deciding between Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. Doesn't really matter. And then there's Indy, where Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones are both maddeningly inconsistent. Even if the options aren't perfect, real games are right around the corner, so they gotta choose someone. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look, to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7 to 8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
U.S. Open Fan Week. Week 1 of the 3-week U.S. Open starts today through the 23rd. It's free and open to the public. Catch world-class tennis, see top stars practice, and more. Visit usopen.org/fanweek for more info.
This is Sal Licata. If you live in New Jersey, your electricity rates are going up again. If your current cooling system is over 15 years old, get ahead of that rate increase now with a new high-efficiency Carrier AC system. There's only one company to call. It's my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's air conditioning experts for decades. Take it from me. You'll save money and stay cooler. These guys are experts. Contact my friends now at EdisonHVAC.com. That's EdisonHVAC.com.
Just got my car right here at Dana Ford. Just got my car right here at Dana Ford.
adventure and excitement. Brand new 2025 Ford Bronco. Lease $289 a month, 36 months, zero security, $49.95 due at signing, with 2 years complimentary maintenance. Big selection and details at DanaFordDeals.com. Dana Ford, Staten Island. With approved credit, dealer retains Ford rebates. Expires 8/31/25.
Wellness isn't just what you do, it's what you absorb, hydrate, and fuel with. At Terra Origin, we combine ancient Ayurvedic wisdom with modern science to support your whole body from the inside out. Gut health for balance, healthy hydration for performance, healthy greens for clean energy and recovery. Because when your body's in sync, everything else flows. Find your formula today at TerraOrigin.com and use code RADIO to save 25% off your first order. Terra Origin, rooted in tradition, built for now.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painter's Trust kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia. Movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Call of the day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Teddy is in Belrose. What's up, Ted?
Sal, don't feel so bad, man. I got spanked over the weekend playing Saratoga. And look into the stats. Unfortunately, something's going on. It's not the same kind of Saratoga that we can recall from 10 to 15 years ago. And by the way, BT.
Yeah.
I looked at the Yankees to make it back to the World Series, and 5-1 seems like a very salivating number, actually. I wouldn't be shocked. That's a very generous number. I know Yankee fans might be sour, but listen, they may have solidified the back end of the bullpen to the point where if the offense can just produce and do what it's got to do, take 5-1 and run with it, actually.
Well, listen, I could have saved Sal a lot of trouble, rather than flushing money on the ponies, put a couple of hundo on the Yankees at 5-1. You got a better chance to win.
Teddy, you got to cut your losses while you can, man. I'm trying to help you out here. And then maybe I'd take the Mets to win the division at 5-1. I'd rather bet the Yanks to win the division than get to the World Series. Me personally. Thank you for the call and best of luck in your recovery there and with the ponies and with the Yankees and the division, whatever other bets you make.
Teddy seems like he likes to have a lot of balls in the air with those bets there, Teddy boy. Take it easy.
Teddy, man. We respect the action. And we get into a lot today, BT. That was a call today. Anything you missed, check it out on the free Odyssey app. Maybe we'll do the realignment stuff. Manfred alluded to that last night. We've done this before. So much so that, remember, we started going over each team and what division they would be placed in. So we've gotten into deep dives on that. Obviously, newsworthy coming from Manfred officially on a national broadcast. We don't have enough time in the show left to really get into it today. I thought it was more important to do the dart stuff, obviously, that we mentioned that, and start with the Mets and Yanks. So we could have some fun with that tomorrow. By the way, side note, Francisco Lindor named player of the week in the National League. He's hitting .560, three homers, 7 ribbies, 2 steals, 6 extra base hits. So Lindor obviously been on a heater this week. Needs to keep that going if the Mets are going to have success this coming week.
And how did it start? He dropped down a bunt.
Yeah, right.
That's why you'll whether it's O'Neill or Keith, the hitters in the booths, right, that we watch every night. You don't think of much value in a bloop base hit, but generally, a bloop base hit or a little infield single, or in Lindor's case, dropping out a bunt can just change the entire karma and the entire dynamics of your mind. He's been hitting the ball hard every time. He looks good right now.
Finally, for the first time, it feels like Lindor, Soto, Alonso clicking all together. John is in Staten Island. What's up, John?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you? I have a few quick points. I know I'm up against it. Here's my thing with Soto. I'm a Met fan. I'm not thrilled with him, but I have to say probably the reason why his runners in scoring position is so low is 100 walks. I'm not thrilled with that. Earlier, you guys said, well, nobody's living up to the contracts Aaron Judge is. I got to, pin you a little bit, BT.
Go ahead.
If you care about the regular season, as far as the postseason, I agree with you. And finally, really quickly, if Jackson Dart is playing against vanilla defenses and doing what he's doing, God help Justin Fields. 1 for 5, 4 yards.
That's funny. Yeah, if Dart could do it, then there's the same benign defensive looks for Justin Fields. We'll do more of the Jet stuff tomorrow.
100%.
I'm less concerned about what I saw on Saturday. Now, I'll really save it for tomorrow, but I get it. I mean, it's easy to see why the Jets passing game does not look very promising now.
Gary's in Monroe. What's up, Gary?
Gary.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, bud.
How you doing? I want to talk about right now. The Yankees have a big 6-game series, right? We just coming off 7-3 out of 10 games, and now we're going to see how Boone manages these Yankees. And Sal, now you're going to see the real Boone. Let's see what he does in these big, important 2 against the Rays and 4 against the Sox.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see some consistency in the lineup. We've been getting that, especially at the top of the order, Gary, and thank you for the call. When is Judge going to be back in the outfield? Maybe it is Thursday against the Red Sox. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Give them 2 more here with Stanton in Tampa for the short 2-game series where it's going to be the same dimensions, obviously, being at Steinbrenner Field.
Yep, plus the off day today. You bake that in a little bit.
All right, so can he get back out there?
I mean, if he's not back out there, fairly soon, meaning the Red Sox series, not so much Tampa. I think I agree with you on that. That is probably a little reason to worry here. It's been a couple weeks.
I would bet that they... Now, again, I don't know if something's changed, but a week or so ago, it felt like he was going to be on track soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's been over a week. I would bet that they're targeting the Red Sox series. Yeah, it's an important series as well. They're back home. If he was throwing at 110 feet, whatever it was, on last Sunday, then why wouldn't that be getting better here? So I think, like you said, off day today, give Stanton 2 games and right, then unleash your best lineup possible Thursday against the Red Sox for the start of a huge 4-game series.
And last time they played the Red Sox, things started going awry. That's where some of the base running blunders started popping up. And if you remember, not that I never like losing to the Red Sox, but we came in, you're like, man, that doesn't bother you? And the Yanks were playing so well that it really didn't, but that was kind of the beginning point of the Yankees melted a little bit defensively on the bases. Now they stabilized. The Mets stabilized over the weekend. We'll see how long it continues. I don't think either team's going to win a World Series, but as we know, I've been wrong about some other stuff.
Should be fun down the stretch here with both these teams and look ahead of football season. Thanks to